Once again, we are here just a week later to play some more D&D. One player has joined us, another left us, and there may be a secret player who also joined us, but who am I kidding? There's a
Maybe.
secret player who's already joined us. um, um, Today, we are once again picking up with the Blue Lamb, our ongoing D&D campaign that we try to do once a month, but this month we're blessed with 2 sessions. Um, I'm just gonna go right into the right into the summary of last session. The party managed to defeat Alphonse Weichstetter, the evil, corrupted um, captain of the airship Arianway, and they managed to finally fly it, if a bit slower, to the destination, the lone forest lumber town of Wago. While they got there,
Waga.
they Wago. They managed to put some of the differences aside and maybe do a little bit more to understand each other. Uh, Meanwhile, somewhere in the deep forest that this town is set in, an unwholesome figure calls for a council. Into a dark clearing, the moonlight barely hitting anything, steps a truly titanous satyr, 8 feet tall, lean, almost like tree bark, covered in both fur, horns, and feathers. His eyes never quite clear, with an intentional color.
Ooh.
He has summoned his 3 most competent champions, the 3 favorites, to join him today. Into the clearing steps another satyr, maybe half as tall but twice as sinister, wearing a skull mask, always smirking for no discernible reason. He's joined then, standing a few leagues away, a bird folk wearing an wearing an all covering cloak. And finally, strangely enough, a swarm of demonic bees joins them and manifests into a tall standing figure. Plague, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, my name is Plague, and I'm gonna be playing as Sweet Song. Sweet Song.
Sweet
1,000,000
song.
bees.
The sentient swarm of bees. Sweet song,
There
as you
will be
come
a
into
lot
the
of bee puns. That's for
there will be
true.
so many bee puns, and if you have problems with insects in this session, uh, maybe take it easy. Maybe take a breather before you watch or listen to this one. Your master, the flautist, has summoned all of you now, Sweet Song. You stand in the clearing once again. Your your ever untrustworthy brother Blightwood to your left, and Cuckoo standing somewhere on a tree nearby. So, Plague, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna build this character together, and we're also gonna build your relationship with this world together. And I want you to tell me, based on just what you know about these characters, what do you think your relationship is to them? If you want, we can also roll some dice.
For sure. I want to say I think we get along okay, but we deeply hate each other with a loving passion, if that makes sense. Like
Kind of like
probably like this.
siblings, and that's also like
Yeah.
how the flautist refers to all of you. He calls you his children, and Blightwood will be the first to call you brother or brothers. He has been gifted with the gift, or maybe curse, that he can always hear the thoughts of nearby creatures, or even not so nearby creatures. Meaning every time he gets near you, he almost gets a migraine from all the thoughts of all your bees. And he's never quite sure who to focus on when he talks to you or when he reads your mind. Is it some potential intelligence, or is it just a bunch of bees? Cuckoo, meanwhile, clearly has a cutting disregard and hatred for everyone in the Black Circus, including you. Though they probably hate you least of all, since a swarm of bees is probably the least malicious thing that can join a circus. Finally, there's the flautist, with whom you long ago made a deal that got you into this situation. You're not entirely sure whether you're a ranger who was just keeping a swarm of bees and slowly melded with them over time, or whether you were a swarm of bees to begin with, looking for a body. Your memories have long since faded. All you remember now is the contents of the swarm. You approach him now, Blackwood still smirking, and Cuckoo still keeping a distance. as the flautist says,
Ah, my children, my sweet, sweet children. It appears newcomers have come to our forest. And you know what that means.
some chuckle from your left, as Blightwood looks at you expectantly.
Very well.
Ah, yes, this planeswalkers appearing within. What brings them into this?
Nothing good, I assure you. Where they've walked the plains, I know not. But we must dispose of them anyway. Though, prithee do not kill them. You make use of any tool in your inventory just to get rid of them. And for whoever gets rid of them fastest, I will have a special reward.
Blightwood just kind of chuckles at that. Cuckoo still stands off a while back, and though this time you can see something in their posture changes. Their arms are still crossed, though they're now clearly curiously listening.
Indeed. My time as the headmaster of the circus will come to an end soon, and will fall to one of you three to lead it. So do not disappoint. In the name of the king.
And just with that, he disappears into a cloud of black smoke, leaving the three of you in the clearing as Cuckoo finally comes down from the tree. The satyr Blightwood gives you a strange look and says, "Well then, friend, what do you make of this? Go on. I'm sure one of you bees must have a good idea."
The swarm calls within my carapace. What will be, will be. In the name of the king.
You can hear Cuckoo just kind of sighing very deeply, saying, "You may be very smart for a swarm of bees, but you're always very but surprisingly, you always have a very one-track mind. You must see an angle to get some kind of profit out of this, Blightwood." Says Blightwood,
What I? Wound me, Cuckoo. All I see is problems that need solving. And I am always happy to be a helper. So if any of you should find yourselves in a predicament, you need only think about me.
with that, we leave this scene, unless you have one final thing to say at this scene, Plague.
No, I think that's like I love the aura that we're giving out.
So, this little mini game I'll be playing with Plague over the course of this session, I like to call Bathologic, which is a name I chose with a lot of purpose, and you might see soon why. Party. Huh? One
Yes.
moment.
Yeah. No, I'm partying. I'm partying. I'm
Yeah,
dancing.
partying hard.
I'm dancing.
Time to party. Party. You've since arrived, more or less intact, in the lumber town of Wago. Who some of you may have heard of this town before, but only in legend. Those of you living far to the east have not much of an idea what goes on in the Blue Forest, and the denizens of the forest might want it that way. Just how much you will still have to learn today. Omni, you don't know one way or the other what goes on in this town, but you do feel a strangely familiar aura as you approach it. We're picking up a couple of days after the events of last session, as you've all already landed in the town. Still licking your wounds, some of the artificers have started burying the dead or incinerating them. Meanwhile, all the scrapped automata have been gathered in the carry hold to be scrapped down or melted down later. Tyr, 12 of the 24 men have survived those horrible night's events, and you yourself helped bring them to an end. However, you can't help feel a bitter feeling as nothing seems to be in your control lately. You find yourself one way or the other, at some point, in the bridge, which has since been taken over by both the head engineer, Captain Hall, the newly assigned Captain Hall, and your colleague, Lieutenant Kinesis.
It's good to see that you're still alive, Ren.
You too. Guess. Fucking hot here. Well, I guess I'm glad to finally be getting some solid ground on my fucking feet. You think you're gonna join the
all
party?
of that. Ah,
Fuck all
you
of
know, at this point, I don't know what goes on anymore, but these people seem alright, and I don't think I'm cut out for this bullshit anymore.
that. For what?
Being a guard, man. Do you see how many people died here?
You can see Captain Hall just kind of sends out a bunch of her engineers, and she steps beside the two of you and says, "Well then, Lieutenant, I'm not much of an official here, but I do have but I am in charge of this ship. And if you think that you need to step outside and help the party figure out whatever you need to figure out, go ahead. I won't be reporting you. Neither will I," says Ren. Then
Thank you.
you have my
both of
blessing
you.
for whatever it's worth. Just make sure they all get home safe, I suppose. That's the least you can do for us.
All right, I
We can
turn to
talk
the
ab-
party. Sorry.
You return to the party. So let's just go through the list. By the way, Tyr, can you roll me a d6, please?
Coming up.
Ooh, challenges? Challenges?
Challenges
Correct.
Ooh.
today. So, Plague, this will be a little new to you. This is not part of any standard D&D game, but at the start of every session, I have a special challenge for each of my players that is decided by a d6 roll.
All right.
Tier gets girl boss. Tier, your mission today is to girl boss, okay?
Infamously, for one of our characters who, Algernon will be joining us late tonight, but that character currently is not here. Infamously, the first 3 items on their list is a Gatelight, Gatekeeper, Girl Boss. How so? You rolled a 5 tier, which means please hold on to your heart,
Aww.
to your convictions, to your beliefs, to your feelings.
You just.
Or
Tell-
maybe your literal heart because it was ripped out.
That's true. True. Maybe a prompt can have double meaning.
Are all of mine just man lyrics? Is that what it is?
Man?
Yeah.
Man.
Never mind. Thank you, Dungeon Mommy. I will take that to heart.
Another thing
Oh.
you don't see on a lot of tables is that my players like to call me Dungeon Mommy instead of Dungeon Master.
Dungeon
because I think it's
Mother.
very funny.
It's a little
Yeah.
confusing because she's my sister, but I roll with it.
Your sister
You
can
all
be a
love it.
mother?
Dungeon Mutti.
Not mine, at least.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Ooh.
Oh god. Omni. You find yourself, after a while, it's been another quiet night. No dreams in your sleep anymore. As you spent the last couple of nights in your quarters, sometimes helping out SETI around the ship, carrying around dead robots and dead gnomes and half-elves. You wake up in your quarters, once again staring at the ceiling. You know now that you can tell now from the lack of movement coming from around you that the ship has since landed. You look outside and see a couple of friendly bluish pine trees. How does Omni feel in this moment?
I've been spending a lot of time with SETI lately. Ever since we talked, I feel like I can depend on SETI.
Oh.
And I've kept my distance from Sio, Siomara. I've been keeping my distance. I took what I converse with SETI. I've really taken it to heart. But I am unfortunately very old. Though my appearance may not show it, I am ancient, and I am slow to change, though I do change. And as I see that we have arrived, I do have questions as to why they call it a blue forest when it looks definitely green to me. But then again,
Could it be that the artist of this campaign is colorblind? Who knows?
that is okay, hey, boo. Okay, okay, listen. Yesterday I realized I may have a stigmatization in my eyes, and I was like, huh? You all don't see stars at night? What? Anyways, so you're not the only one. Once again, we're family. You have eye issues, I have eye issues. It's okay. Nonetheless, I've been spending time with SETI. And honestly, like, I'm up. I think it's time to make myself useful. If my sword has no demons to slay, then I shall earn my keep, as they say.
In some kind of in some kind of macabre merriment, you see Eclipse floating around you. Says something like, "Oh yes, it is time to grow strong before we can smite down the demonic horde." And
Is that
I
Eclipse?
think somebody, I think somebody yes, I think somebody
Okay.
needs help opening a door. I think you should open it for them. Go. As you open the door for Seti, who enters the same room as you. Seti,
Morning.
once again, you've been spending the past couple of days helping out around the ship. Now it has landed, and it is time to make yourself known to the townfolk, who have no doubt noticed the big old airship landing near them. What do you think? What's going on in Seti's head as you basically bump into Omni?
Yeah, first of all, like said, Omni's been a presence around me for the last couple of days, so I've grown very accustomed of seeing them around when I start my day.
What do you think would be a standard greeting between the two of you?
I would oh wait.
Again, not set in stone because we're discussing this, but I feel like Omni just says, like, rejoice, big man. 'Tis time for us to do the good work. That's what I feel I say. But if you think we have more of like a casual little handshake, I am also like super okay with that.
I would say normally on a regular day, I would do something similar, like very stoic. But since today we've landed, I would once I've been greeted very formally, lean into Omni's ear and say, "Waza, we've landed."
Omni, absolutely. I'm being so used to like tradition and order. Again, former commander of the armies of the heavens. Omni smiles and laughs and is like, I see. At last we'll have something new to do.
I'm very
Something new to do, such as rolling dice for me. Omni, why don't you roll a dice for me?
You
A
got
D6,
it. You got it,
please.
boss. You got it, boss.
You can do the
I got
same,
it.
Seti.
I got a 6.
And I also got 6 twinsies.
Omni, today. Mend the dreams of the broken.
Oh.
Ooh.
And Seti with a 6. Embrace the darkness.
Ooh.
A little bit of a duality going on here. But you can write this down or you cannot write that down. That's up to you. We'll come back to this at the end of the session. Bring us, as the two of you finally go down to the landing pad, or rather go down to the ramp and step off the airship finally. To step on the wholesome, musty, kind of moist, and kind of insidious forest ground. We turn now to Stacy, who's been here before. You've been in Wyra many times, Stacy. This is one of the towns that was the closest to the Autumn Circle back when you were still with them. And Aisling would take you here often just to go shopping or to talk with the locals or to perform any kind of rites. You're wondering how much you've changed or how much the town has changed. Anyway, what do you think is going on in Stacy's mind right now, Costa?
She's still shaken up about the past events, about all the revelations which came up, and also Flora's departure and her own decision to bring up her past, but she's not yet ready for it. She wants to flesh out the revelation a little bit more. She wants to prepare herself a bit more, but she feels like the moment comes nearer when she wants to talk about her upbringing and where she comes from, as long as she can still remember. I mean, she wrote it down in the book, so there's still something left. But she also knows that she has to go on. There is no way turning back from being a dragon, and but she also feels like she can't really dive into this new direction without having a closure on who she was before she can be new.
What would you like to do, Stacy?
First of all, she tries to get a feeling for the forest, if it still feels the same.
Why don't you give me a wisdom roll?
A wisdom roll. Boom.
With a
Whoa.
25,
Hot fuck.
it feels much the same, but Plague, why don't you tell me? It's been a couple of days since your meeting with the flautist. How many bees are in the forest now?
I think they have started to gather more and more. So I would say, because of the passage of time, like more bees have gathered now.
Your sharpened dragon senses cannot help but hear the steady buzzing and working and whirring of bees. Besides that, the forest seems agitated. Maybe the bees are a sign of that, or maybe the bees are what has the forest agitated. You won't know until you come to investigate one of them specifically. That is to say, the air is thick with worrying bees.
The air is buzzing with excitement, you want to say.
The air is buzzing with excitement.
Can I see a bee nearby? Or are they like
Are you still
further
on the ship,
away?
or have you since left the ship?
I'd say I left the ship. I'm like at the end of the stairways down.
Oh,
But yeah.
One of the bees flies close to you. Sweet song. One of your bees
Yes.
has landed on a target who you can only guess to be one of the intruders that you need to scare away. You have an opportune moment right now to make yourself known to them. But for now, it's just a single bee on the hand of a runaway druid. What you see now is not very impressive, though. Of course, you know that she is hiding something, and maybe you can use that as leisure yourself.
Okay.
How do your bees look, Plague?
I want to say they are like fairly. They're not like regular, like yellow. I would say they're more like brightish, like fluorescent, like red, with like a little bit of like glitter of like gold in them.
And how big are they? Are they like
Uh,
small, like angel bees and with no stinger, or larger?
Definitely,
bumblebees.
I would say more like there's probably like a few different sizes. Probably like the larger ones stay closer, and like the scouting ones are definitely like maybe the size of like maybe like a fingernail.
Okay.
Okay.
A little fluorescent pink reddish bee lands on your fingernail. It's roughly the size of it. Stacey, as you look at it, it looks back at you, knowing somehow. You can't help but feel worry yourself. It is at this moment that you are joined by Tyr, Omni, and Seti. I need you to roll me a d6, Stacey.
Yes, I will do that.
Oh, 6.
Hot fuck.
Okay, lots of
Damn.
sixes
What is
today.
happening?
Since we had that last time, I will just go one down the list, back to 1, and say, Stacey, this session, why didn't you get that flan? know,
Oh,
Oh.
You've been
okay.
modest for far
Okay.
too long. It's time for you to get that flan.
Nice. Good.
This is
With all
just
that setup out of the way, we have now arrived at the session proper. So, party, for four of you regular players, your quest will be to somehow figure out anything about the blue lamp in this area, because you know it's been spotted here, you know there's been strange creatures, and you know that a caravan has gone missing somewhere here in the forest. The locals might know more, and then again, you also have to stock up for the adventure ahead. You don't know what kind of you don't know what kind of creatures and dangers await you in the forest. So there are 5 locations to go for you, besides the Ariane Way. There's a community center where you expect to maybe find some maps, maybe talk to the person in charge. There's a roadhouse where you'll be able to stay for the night, maybe catch up some rumors. The town square where you can restock up on supplies, and maybe see the fabled Faesong tree of Wago. There's also a smithy, which is right next to the sawmill, where you might be able to get your gear repaired or even buy new weapons. And there's kind of quietly and almost inconspicuous considering how big it is, a whole abandoned Imperial fort standing nearby, about half a mile outside of town. Meanwhile, Plague, Sweet Song, you have your bee eyes everywhere, and whenever a player decides they want to go somewhere, I will allow you to just interject into the situation at a certain point, and then we'll
Okay.
see how it goes from there. So,
Sounds
and you're just imagining what my prompt list looks like for Stacy. Being,
Yeah.
Flan, no flan, flan, no flan, flan, no flan.
I mean, it has checked out so far.
Well,
6 and 1 has been correctly called.
maybe I will reveal them at the end of the campaign, or like for a special session. Or maybe since today is like the last session of the year, maybe I can just reveal to you what I've come up with. But yeah, so once again, going in alphabetical order, Seti, and I presume Omni is always with you. Where would you like to go? Once again, if one of the other players decides to go with you, that's fine too.
I will say that I am definitely whatever city is going, I'm going. And I don't particularly have again, you must understand that I'm not doing this out of my own volition. I'm doing it because the goddamn Archmage basically has a curse on me essentially that makes me have to, I'm just complying for the time being. And for me, this is all just very quaint. I'm basically in Disneyland. I'm like, oh my god, everything here is just so small. Look at all these little things they've built with brick and wood and plaster.
As you walk
It's all
through the
just so
forest,
quaint.
you hear the distant buzzing of a bee. One of your scouting bees, Sweet Song, notices the outline of a creature, though it is filled with blinding bright light. And you fear that your bees will go blind if they look at this creature very much longer. You'll just know that it's accompanying some kind of snake folk monk. You find this very
Ooh.
interesting, I presume, but you know that you should probably stay away from this creature, fearing for your own undead skin, whatever's left of it. So,
Okay.
So
Seti.
I'm Seti picks where we're going.
Seti picks where you're going. Meanwhile, Eclipse has not stopped glowing around Seti either. Simara hasn't stayed on the ship. You heard something about them being unwell. Which you reckon was not that big of a problem in the larger scale of things, as you will surely get back together once it actually gets to, swinging blades and flinging spells. That being said, your divine intuition gives you some strange feeling about those red fluorescent bees. There's something undead and or demonic about them. Know that. Okay, Seti. Where are the two of you going? And is anyone else joining them?
I was thinking we have some. Xiomara drank too much. Yeah. We have some
A little
new
beverage.
stuff from our endeavors of the previous days. I wanted to see if I could find someone who can make something useful out of it.
So you're going to the smithy.
That would be my suggestion, yes.
Tyr, where are you going?
So I realize, cool stuff. I never got to meet you guys. Do you want to go somewhere?
We never had
Tyr-
best time.
Tyr
Alright.
approaches you, Stacy, and he doesn't seem how to know how to say it, but it becomes very clear to you that he would like to spend time with you and as far away from the guards and the ship as possible. He will stick to you like glue.
Like my shadow.
And
So,
they were roommates.
I would at this point also just look at I'm guessing that the robe I have over my armor is where I have the sigil on from the city, like from the guard. I would
Yeah,
just
the
like to
Marok
take that-
tabard.
Yeah, I'm taking that off, and I'm rolling it up, and I'm just putting it in the backpack. I'm presuming that I have.
We could just say that you put it in your quarters earlier.
Yeah,
Or maybe you put it in your backpack and you're like, oh, maybe I'm not staying in the airship anymore. Maybe I'm going to stay in the road host tonight.
exactly.
Okay, you've
I should have.
definitely, you can tell that Tyr's relationship to the guard seems to have changed somewhat. He's just wearing his half plate with
Yeah.
no
So
tabard to be seen.
you see Stacy turning to Tyr and like looking up, like she has to really bend her
Way
neck.
up, just way up,
Yes.
way up.
And she goes like, I know those forests, and they feel vibrant, like somehow
Is that a
good,
thing?
somehow good because it feels kind of normal, but also like there is something. I can't quite put it, but something or someone watching us closely. So it's better to not cause a commotion too early, but we still have to find this damned blue lamp. I'd suggest we either go to the community center or the town square because those two spots are always good to hear the first rumors.
Okay, maybe you can tell me more about that blue lamp on the way. Don't, by the way. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
realistically Tia doesn't know. Also, did you hear bees? Like, I'm allergic. I need you to, like, tell me if you hear bees.
Oh boy,
I
Stacy
love
looks
this.
to her finger and goes like, yes, we will have many of those little friends around here.
Tia starts sweating visibly.
Somewhere deep in the forest, I don't know where your main body has manifested plague, but you know that one of your scouting bees has tragically once again spotted one of the adventurers allergic to bees. If there's one kind of person you could never relate to less, it was those with the bee allergy. Kind of
Is that seasonal
sad and
allergies?
come again?
Is that seasonal allergies?
It's the seasonal allergies.
Beasonal.
You shake your head as you withdraw your bees from the large, muscle-bound orc paladin. Right, folks. Community center or town square? Where would you like to go?
I mean, town square sounds good.
Yeah, let's go to the town square first.
All right. So, Plague, the players have made their move. They've decided where they want to go. You can interject on either of those pairs if you want.
Okay.
Where would you like to go, Sweet Song?
I kind of want to see. I want to say my Beast Boys scouted the group of Stacy and Tyr first. I would say.
Yes.
And I think probably like the group of like with Omni. Maybe that's gonna be, since that's further away. I don't think they've kind of got to like that direction. So I'll
Yes,
probably
and
say
you
maybe I'm
cannot
gonna-
you cannot directly look at Omni either. Omni is just a blinding white light to
Yeah.
you.
So I would imagine they're trying to figure out whatever's going on over there. So I'm probably gonna try to get a little bit closer to the main group at the town square.
The bees thicken around the town square, and you're ready to spring into your physical form at any moment. We're gonna start with the town square. Stacy and Tyr, you arrive at the town square. You can see that there's some market stalls out, some traders talking with some other travelers, some other adventurers, some other townsfolk. And if you want, you can exchange 50 gold pieces for like 1 unit of like long rest supplies, because you realize you might gonna have to go out camping. So if you want, you can buy a certain any number of supplies that you want. You can also buy for your other comrades if you want. More importantly, and perplexingly perhaps, besides the bees, of course, you see a familiar face. For you, Stacy, anyway.
That's right. It's Old Man McGee from the first episode.
Actually, no. It is Profane, but it is Profane Ilafar from episode 11. You remember the paladin who accompanied you below the city of
God.
Nisithalat and got absolutely destroyed by the Lord Custodian and turned to flame. And yet here she stands, holding a piece of rolled up canvas, arguing with what appears to be a small Harengon child. You're free to investigate.
With a small child. Okay, interesting. Did Stacy see that Omni and Sassetti went off together?
Yeah, you did.
Ah, okay. Too bad. I could have been dumb again, but not
Aw.
like this. Yeah, first of all, Daisy sees the bees all around and is kind of baffled because it was never that the bees were gathering in the town like that.
They definitely seem ominous to you.
She puts her hand like on Tyr's underarm because she can't reach anything else.
You can feel Stacy tapping your forearm.
I'm slowly like I'm slowly turning to her with like wide eyes. I'm like, I can hear them.
Yes, I know. Try to stay close to me. Don't worry. If anything happens, I'm here. But
Alright.
as far as we see where their territory is and we don't interject with that, we should be fine normally. But I'm not quite sure if those are really normally. But I will keep an eye on them and be vigilant about them.
As you say all that, somebody notices your voice, and Lefave actually turns over to you and tries not to smile as she beckons you over and is like, "Oh, hey, Jared. Haven't seen you in a while. What brings you to this lonely place?" You can see the child is still standing next to her, just staring daggers up at her.
Do we already see the ears of the child, or is it like hooded?
No, the child just has her big old bunny ears out.
Okay, so we already know that.
Like,
Okay, good, good.
seeing a Harengon wouldn't be strange to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if it's like only like hidden or not. So, but it's not hidden. It's fine. Stacy looks upwards to Tyr and tries to whisper and says, "I'm not quite sure how much of our orders we should reveal, but yeah, I think we can more or less trust this person and come over and tell it at least a little bit."
Alright. You're whispering quite quietly, but I think I got what you said.
The two of you approach the tall half-drow who you know to be a former member of the Order of the Crooked Man, Tyr, the religious fanatic order who got exiled out of the city a while ago. You might have even seen Mikola Lefave around, though. She was part of the Inquisition, so the less you saw of her, the better. Of course, Stacy, you know that she's since left the Inquisition on account of the whole eye thing. She has since covered up. She has since covered it up with an eye patch, it seems. All right then.
Stacy goes like, "Huh, it seems like you have the same eye patch as Hull."
Who's Hull? Anyway, glad to see you. Glad you see you, Druid. I really must thank you for what you did. For how you helped me back in Nisithalat. I presume I have a lot to tell you, seeing as you watched me die. You can see Nubla going kind of strange for a moment. Nubla, the child, and she looks over at you, Stacey. This woman, do you know her? She's a zealot. She means to burn this whole city down. You need to tell her to leave.
What?
What?
This is about me leaving the order. I think Nubla here doesn't seem to believe me, and she's especially cross with me because I'm staying at her father's roadhouse. Trespassing, more like. He lets you stay for almost free. I don't know how you do it. You need to leave. if the Order finds out what Uago has been up to for the past 100 years, we'll be burnt down. And if you're not part of it, then you're an apostate. And if there's one thing that the Order hates more than a heretic, it's an apostate. Lafave just kind of waves it off, picks up her canvas and says, "All right, if you want to stay at the Roadhouse tonight, that's where I'll be staying, and I'll buy you some drinks if you want."
Do they have flan?
Oh, I bet they do.
Hmm.
She looks
Good.
over at Ubla one more time, who scowls at all of you. As Lafave leaves the scene, the bees manifest around you and take on the form of a tall, hooded figure with a robe. Plague, how do you want to make your entrance?
I would say like a bunch of like scouting bees kind of like get together
Mm-hmm.
into one big clump of mass, and like
Yeah.
almost like if it was some sort of like red cloud, like the hood and all like the robes appear,
Yeah.
and then you hear, "Who might you be?"
The two of you are approached by a man made completely out of bees, who you intuit to be the source of the strange infestation. The townsfolk around you scream and scatter in the meanwhile.
Oh,
Also,
this is less
Nubia-
terrifying than a single bee. No, he's just a guy.
Wait. Do you have a
No.
dagger with bee poison on it or not?
I
Do
think
you
that's just-
think for one moment I'm gonna waste some poison on some earthwalkers like y'all?
Stacy, that was really, really nice of you to say. You know, bees die when they sting people with skin. You can't say that. Anyways,
Nubla, while scared, she's hiding behind one of the merchant stalls and just seems to be staring at the three of you having that exchange. You, of course, Sweet Song, you can tell there's one townsfolk left who appears to be a small child who you would kind of guesstimate to be like from the same family as the innkeeper. Black Circus, watch out! The Black Circus, of course, being the faction that you're from.
Do I know anything about the Black Circus?
No more than hearsay.
Yeah, same here.
Every
What the-
time you asked Ashling about it, she would just kind of wave it off and be like, I'll tell you when you're like one of the masters of the Druid Circle. We don't really have to deal with them very often. Tyr, you know your mother, who's like born and bred Moroccan. She would sometimes tell you dark fairy tales about how the Black Circus would abduct children and make them dance and then turn them into demons or whatever. And
Or demons?
or B-men. Or B-mens. So
Tyr
while
falls
this is
over dead.
freaking come again?
At the puns. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. So Tia, this would definitely not seem out of for somebody who grew up all their life in Maracas and only heard like dark stories about the Blue Forest. This doesn't seem out of order, you know, a man made out of red fluorescent bees.
Can we help you, bees?
Well, I'll say perhaps you could help me.
Go.
As the
go,
bees
go
buzz
on.
around you, the swarm thickens around you.
The swarm tickets.
I start sweating again. I'm visibly nervous.
And then just an aside thing, for would I be able to do I know any of the party members at all or anything? Or have I heard any
You
stories
only-
about them?
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be a fun thing to know. We can roll a d20 and see how much you know about Stacy, because that's the most likely.
Okay.
Saying that 1 is you know her name, and 20 being you know just about everything. With a 19.
Ooh, nice. That's
Ooh.
interesting.
Oh shit.
Knows things even
I know
Stacey
where you
doesn't know
live,
about
I know your
herself.
house, I
um,
know where you work.
Sweet Song, some people might think you silly, or some people might think you weird. You're probably one of the oldest and wisest members of the Black Circus, meaning you've been in this forest longer than almost any creature. Except, of course, the druids of the Autumn Circle. And you've definitely
Okay.
seen this strange half-elf waif around. And you know that her name is Stacy, though she seems to be hiding something behind that name. Tyr seems to be one
Okay.
of her companions, so seem the other two, the one of whom made out of light that you can't look at. Your bees have also scouted another druid of that same druid circle, who is now camping up in the abandoned fort. That's all you
Okay.
know.
Would I know if they're like what they're looking for, or anything like that?
You know, a while ago the circus ambushed like a caravan holding a strange blue-glowing artifact. The flautist, of course, immediately captured that thing and has been hiding it from all of you. You can't lie. You can't say that you haven't been curious about what it is. And as much as you know, if anyone from like the civilized world will come to this town, they will probably be looking for that artifact.
Okay. So it's fair to say that like even me and the Black Circus will be like very interested in an artifact like this to be in our possession.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I don't even know how to address you, so I will just go with Drone. Drone.
Excuse me. I have a name. Let me introduce myself to both of you, especially you, the small one. I am Sweet Song, a member of the Black Circus, and I, for one, am here looking for something special. And perhaps you could help me, and if you don't, you will pay the ultimate price.
I squat down again to Stacy. I'm like,
See what you've done? You assumed their gender. Again, what is it with you and bees? Can't you like, you know?
anyways.
What is it with you and bees, Tyr?
I'm very self-conscious about my bees. I'm very self-conscious, please.
Sweet Song, I will remind you, your mission, I don't know what kind of angle was, but your main mission would be to make sure these adventurers leave and never come the fuck back. Or die. Your boss
Okay,
wasn't
okay.
especially. But if you want to trick them into helping you figure out or even find whatever that blue lamp is, that could be an angle you could be going for as well, though there will be consequences for that.
Ooh,
Okay, okay.
consequence.
Or perhaps trick the adventurers into thinking that you are on our side.
Yeah.
Or perhaps
yeah,
trick the
yeah.
adventurers into thinking that
Yeah.
that you're on their side. Very clever, Maxi.
No, I'm just really friendly. I'm just really friendly overall, I would say.
Yeah, what would you assume that just because it's a freaking swarm of bees that somehow bees are nice, you know?
Yeah, but
That
these
is-
are nice.
yeah.
They get the
This
honey.
is the
Okay,
nicest
folks.
swarm of
The
bees I've
three
ever
of you.
met.
This has been really enjoyable, but I do need a way for the three of you to resolve the situation.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we might both be looking for the same thing. I am looking for what they call the blue light. That's what brings me here.
Stacy nods in understanding. Sweet
I-
Song.
Okay, I look at Stacy, nod in understanding, and I also nod in understanding, not knowing or understanding.
I'm not looking for a blue light.
Uh-huh.
Well, but
So- Yeah, perhaps what?
no, I was just going to suggest maybe we could sit down somewhere and discuss this. if they need help. this
Yes,
swarm
we
of
can do
bees.
that. I just wanted to know why Sweet Song appeared in front of us with all their bees. Because we haven't done anything besides stepping foot into here.
You can definitely give me an inside check, Stacy.
Yeah.
So Tia is just like, oh, can we sit down somewhere? Sweet Song is like, I have these fools. It's just like, these idiots.
Got him. Rent free, baby.
From what all you can tell, the bees seem to be as much of the forest as this town is, as in they came here at some point, and they're clearly of the forest, though they're not maybe from the forest. Sweet Song seems to be sincere in everything he seems to be saying, though his motive seems to be nebulous at best. Then again, who really knows what a sentient swarm of bees wants?
It's a lot of bees, A lot of meeting of the minds.
You gotta keep busy. Anyway,
Ah!
Stacy and Tia, we'll give you the following options. Either you can choose to stand your ground and make Sweet Song somehow leave, or you can decide to sit down somewhere with Sweet Song and talk to him about just exactly how you can help him. And maybe along the way, you can even figure out something about the area.
Look, Stacy, you notice. I lean down and I whisper this to her, but like, hey, look, you probably know this area better than I do. Trust this swarm of bees.
I think we can't really trust them. Stacy's always confused with gender, and
I'm also thinking, isn't it kind of weird? Ever since they showed up and talked to us, I kind of didn't think about the fact that they were bees anymore, and that freak. I should be shitting my pants right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you say we shouldn't trust them, then we just send them on their way.
Yeah, also they talked about blue light. So they kind of know, but we could fiddle around that we have not the same objective. It's the lamp, not the light.
Okay.
Stacey, would it occur to you that a blue light would be another way to refer to the lamp, so he's probably talking about the same thing.
Of course, but I try to be a little shit here and be
Oh, right.
pedantic.
You try to do it with semantics.
Yes.
I get it.
Okay, I turn to
This
the
is
swarm
the
of bees.
the wise part about Stacy, not the idiotic part about Stacy.
Right, so the two of you stand your ground against the sentient swarm of bees, is what
Yes.
I'm reading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're not gonna roll for combat here. In fact, we're just gonna have a roll off to see how damaged you get away from the situation. Sweet song, it seems, no matter how much you can sing your sweet song to these strangers, they will not listen to you. I'm gonna roll a d20 for you,
Okay.
and Tyr and Stacy can both roll a d10.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no, I keep adding d20s. Hold on.
And whoever of us can get the highest score gets out of the situation unscathed.
I'd
Oh.
like to use one of my inspirations for that role.
Okay. And since I'm the GM, I can roll as many times as I like. Fucking up.
So RD10 keep highest, right?
Kingdom
so
Hearts 1.
KH. Oh,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
It would
Oh.
appear from a
Look
with a
at
16.
me.
It's fine. With a 16-3, you win the day this time, Tyr and Stacy. Sweet song. Somehow they managed to dispatch of most of the bees using both magic and violence, and you need to retreat from the town square for the time being. Maybe next.
Could we envision perhaps a Scooby-Doo style chase-off around the town square?
Stacy, I lost my glasses. I can't see anything without my glasses.
So.
Oh no, where are them?
Once you've dispatched of the nefarious Sweet Song, Nublar steps up to the two of you and says, "Wow, you really are just a bunch of adventurers, huh? Most townspeople wouldn't be able to stand up to that freak. He's been circling this town for weeks. Not entirely sure why. Something has the bees agitated. Anyway, hi, my name's Nublar. My dad has the roadhouse. You're welcome to stay if you want."
Thank you. Would you show us the way?
Sure, yes. She kind of shows you on the map and then points you down some streets. we open the rooms starting 8 p.m. So if you want to come down this evening and maybe bring your adventuring friends, you'll be welcome to stay. And I'm sure that questionable woman Lafave will be spending her own money for your drinks. So be welcome, I suppose.
Thank you again.
Also, be warned, if you want to enter the forest, the art of the Crooked Man has been seen around here. I don't trust them, neither should you. Huago is a radical town. We don't believe in any gods, which the zealots can't be taken too kindly anyway. Stay safe out there.
We will.
And she just kind of she disappears.
Poof.
Which means you're just left with the beautiful, tall, kind of fluorescent Faesong tree in the middle of the square. As you look up at it, it kind of looks like the tree is looking back at you.
I think I got stung by one of those bees. I'm seeing things. Is that tree looking at you?
Either of you can give me a nature or perception check.
Oh, then I take perception.
You do that. Thank you.
Tyr being afraid of rolling anything because I doesn't know if his stats are working.
No, I have nature plus 0, so it's.
I
Oh,
have
shit.
nature +1, but perception +8.
Yeah, you perceive like a boss right now.
Yeah.
The tree is not watching you so much as it is perceiving your presence. You can tell that the tree itself is like a sapient being. You know something about Faesong trees, though not that much. You remember something about them maybe housing the souls of dead Fae? You're not entirely sure. You haven't seen any Fae since you came here, except maybe questionably Sweetsong and whatever is going on with him. So it's strange to be in this very mundane town and see this very magical tree. Maybe somebody in the community center can give you some hints about that, or maybe the innkeep can give you a little bit of the town's history. You do know, though, that the presence that the tree's emitting isn't altogether hostile. In fact, you kind of feel comforted by it.
I revealed that to Tyr that the plants also have a life force sometimes.
Oh.
And that this tree seems to be comforting towards us, so we shouldn't be too worried. And if he wants, I can check if there are really no stings on his body, because then I
mean, you
could
just fought a
patch
swarm
him
of
up.
bees. Actually, why don't you give me just a straight up D20 check, Tyr, just to see if you have any stings, with a 1 being lots of stings and a 20 being no stings. There's a single sting, and you might have to treat him, Stacy, but Tyr looks stable for now. He doesn't seem to be going into like
Where is this thing?
oh dude, it's right in your butt cheek.
Oh, I hardly
Phew.
noticed.
Perfect. So it's in an area I can reach. Good.
Perfect. As we leave the scene and we turn now over to the smithy. You hear the constant sawing and moving and turning of the wooden mill as you approach the smithy, where supposedly somebody lives who has to repair all the tools that the lumber workers are using. Seti and Omni, you step into the quiet smithy. You can hear the constant clink, clink, clink of a hammer hitting an anvil. As you approach an elderly birdfolk man looking up at you, swinging the hammer, looking much more tired than any of the other townsfolk. He swats away one of those strange bees as you come in.
Good morning, friends. Can I help you?
We can take a short 5-minute break right now.
All right.
Yay!
We're back.
Welcome back. I just found out from my dear brother that I nearly named the smithy the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm very happy that that Seti and Omni are the correctly labeled smithy. Talking to Gum, the birdfolk blacksmith who works there, currently working on what appears to be a kind of a woodsman's axe, just kind of fixing out a nook, kind of making it sharp again. And he looks at you and he says,
Hello, friends. Can I help you?
Ah, yes, good morning. I was wondering if you could repair something metallic for me.
Oh, are you one of? You must be one of the adventurers that came in with the airship. No,
That is correct.
as I already told all of your artificer friends, I simply do not want to work on anything that might have been part of a killer robot. It's just bad luck.
Ah,
Frankly, I have much too much work on my plate as it is.
Just
You can
bad
see now that
optics. It's just bad
you can see
optics. What are people going to think?
you can see by the way that the man is extremely tired. It seems like he hasn't been getting any sleep in the past couple nights.
Oh, by the way, Omni just like takes a weapon off like the display wall
You
when it's
take
testing it.
you take a woodman's axe off the wall. It's nice and heavy and hefty. You can see now that the smithy hasn't really made a lot of weapons. He's mostly really just here to sell and repair tools. You can see now that none of the townsfolk here have ever really seen battle, especially not this man.
It's ever more so quaint to walk into a weaponsmithy, and find no swords nor spears. How quaint.
Well, I'll never claim to be a weaponsmithy, but if you ever need one of the hinges fixed, I'm the man to ask. Oh, excuse me. Now, if you have anything that needs repair that isn't a weapon, I'll be happy to help you. Or, oh, so you're adventurers, right?
correct.
Is there maybe something I can do? I think there's some kind of agreement that we can come to.
Do tell.
Right. I assume you're going to stay the night, so you're going to learn soon for yourself anyway. But at night you will hear the howling and galloping and trampling of many strange creatures who call this forest home. The old walls built by the Druids are not so strong anymore. That is to say, people have gone missing, including my dear boy, Mug. He's always been a strange lad, very interested in the folklore and fairy tales of the country. But
How old is your son?
18,
Tis
18
not
since
strange for
spring.
those of age to live home.
That's the thing. I searched his room and everything was exactly as it was always. He hasn't taken anything. Or either that cursed Black Circus has taken him from me, or maybe he started sleepwalking again. Either way, I would like you to bring him back to me. If at all possible, I would smith anything.
I look in the direction of Seti. Black Circus? Is their entertainment here so grim? Surely they must have song and dance.
Can I roll a history check or something to see what I know about?
For sure, you can definitely roll a history check for the Black Circus. Otherwise, if he sees the two of you are confused, Gum will happily explain it to you.
Wait, with a 14, I'm curious what kind of bells that would ring.
Of course, I mean you already knew about the Rat Lord, who's kind of hand in hand with the Black Circus. Just one of the many factions or groups or creatures associated with the Rook of Red Ridge, and you might already see in the background of the map I drew for you these kind of purplish reddish mountains. That's the Red
Uh-huh.
Ridge. The Sierra Tinta. You know that it is full of strange creatures living here, including like weird and they seem to have this kind of weird nobility and even their own like weird jesters and entertainment. Part of that, of course, being the Black Circus, who used to be part of the Night-Eyed King's court. But since he exiled himself a while ago, before mortals ever set foot on the continent, the Black Circus has just kind of been running the show here in the Blue Forest. That is, when the druids aren't around. Of course, as far as you know, Seti, the Black Circus has only ever been superstition.
Hmm. I have never believed it to exist. And I guess we are maybe close to where it originated from.
So
I
you think it's
do.
all just fairy tales?
So I thought so
Oh.
until today.
The bees must be part of it. Anyway, since my god boy left, I haven't seen a minute of sleep. I'm very sorry. If you could just give me some kind of closure, I'd be happy to help you out.
Mhm.
But not as it is.
I fully understand. But if
I
Good.
look to Seti to see if this is worth our time or not.
how do you look at me in that regard?
I don't want to say that you're like my moral compass in this strange mortal world. I honestly like I'm fully expecting you to agree because you are a person of heart. And I'm almost not expecting you to say no. I'm ready for you to say that you will do what you can.
Because I was indeed going to say I will help you as much as I can if you would mend something for me first.
Right.
Could you mend
I think
your
that can be arranged.
could you mend your sleep schedule first for me?
That I
Please
will.
take a rest. I know it must be hard, but if you
He
are rested,
nods.
we can help you better with any. If you can give us information at that point, would help us.
He nods and says,
Very well, then I'll see you on the morrow.
as the two of you, I presume, go to leave the smithy,
Mhm.
you are approached by something strange. Strange and perhaps wonderful, though mostly strange. A tall satyr approaches the two of you, lithe and almost weaselly, and strangely enough, wearing a shiny bone-like, chitin-like bone mask. He approaches you, smiling as if you're already his friends. Of course, you've never seen this man. He says,
Ah, friends. Oh dear. You're quite a shiny one, aren't you? So you've made your acquaintance with the blacksmith, is that it? Very good, very good. I see you're already enterprising and make yourself known to the country folk. Quite admirable, that.
Are you some
"Ah,
sort of authority here?
Oh, you could say
You
that.
carry yourself with an air. Or a
As to
stench,
you, friend, as
mayhaps.
to you.
Omni,
I
Omni, what are you thinking about right now?"
I'm thinking of whether I can tell this is if this is a demon, fiend, or aberration.
Oh, you don't have to worry about anything in my presence, my dear celestial friend.
I
See,
will be the one
appearances
to
can be
decide
bizarre.
that. I'll
Appearances
decide
can
whether
be.
you are worthy of trust or not.
Oh, but you don't need to trust me. I already have the keys. You see? The keys to your entire kingdom. Very well. I shan't take your time for long, friend. Merely a word to the wise. Don't help the helpless if they can't help themselves.
Hmm.
Your time is best spent elsewhere. Far away from this forest, I hope. I know for a fact you're not here just to dally around in this town. In fact, you, my celestial friend.
And he points over the buildings, over the rooftops, up at the abandoned fort.
I think you should say hello to, well, if not your mother, then perhaps your aunt. I'm sure she misses you. Try to strike me. Do try. You will hit nothing but air. In the meantime, I must make myself scarce.
If
Ta-ta.
I can, I want to throw Anders Meander at their head.
Goes straight through his head, and as it comes back, you realize you were just talking to air.
Curious.
It
And
appears
here
the
I
black
thought we
circle.
were.
It appears
And
the Black
here I-
Circus has gotten into your mind already.
And here I thought we were going to have just a quaint little walk in a quaint little town. Seti, is it normal to be assailed by a physical beings while out and about?
I do have to say, this has been the first for me. But
Maybe not the first time you fought a spirit, but definitely the first time somebody made you think they were right in front of you. When in fact, as the camera pans away, you can see that a few roofs away, Blightwood was just looking at the both of you, projecting an image into both of your heads, as he slinks away from the rooftop and back into the forest.
It looks like we're being watched, Seti.
oh,
I will make clear you did not see this.
Sorry, I'm okay. Allow me to rewalk that. It appears we have drawn unwanted attention.
The buzzing in the air becomes stronger again.
seeing what that thing told to me, I feel like it's a wanted attention. If someone wants to persuade me to not put my time into the helpless, then by all means they found themselves a worthy opponent.
And the solution is always the same.
Help the helpless. Or no, violence. I get it too confused.
Help the helpless and smite those worthy of violence.
We turn now to a quiet corner in the forest. Coming to sit down on a tipped over tree branch sits our friend Sweetsong, plotting his next move. His last attempt did not quite work out, but Plague, you tell me, what is Sweetsong thinking right now?
I would say, since we have another group by the smithy, would you say like is there like a lot of noise for me to maybe do like some sort of like sneak attack?
Oh, definitely, but I want to give the players. You get the feeling that they're currently moving out of the smithy. Mechanically
okay.
speaking, I will give the players one more chance to change the location. After which point, you can once again choose one of the groups to attack.
Okay.
As you contemplate doing a cunning sneak attack, you're approached by your dastardly brother Blightwood.
Ah, my buzzing brigand friend. How goes your quest?
It was but a fail, but believe it or not, there's something brewing within the forest. I don't like it. I do not like it, Blightwood. I do not like it.
I can see. Above your cloud of bees hangs a cloud of content and confusion. Oh, I do hate seeing you so, my old friend. Perhaps we could team up. Don't tell Cuckoo. You never know how they react. I have a proposition to make for you, my besotted friend.
Yes.
If you and your many ears will hear me out. The curse that binds us to this land is the same curse that gives us undeath. We cannot touch the Shining One until it is broken. I can help you lift your curse. If you'll hear me out, I have just the thing. But you'll have to trust me, and you'll have to do exactly what I say. Sweetsong.
Well, between you and me, perhaps we can come to an understanding, and I am very open to hearing what you have to say.
I'll talk to you again tonight. You continue on harassing our foolish investigators. Ta-ta!
He disappears into nothing, as he always does. So, players, so the four of you are free to check out any of the 3 other locations you haven't yet checked. You're also free to just swap up the party arrangement if you will. Or if you want to. So I'm
I-
just gonna go through the list again. Oh, I'm just gonna go straight
Uh,
to Omni since you spoke up.
Since I spoke up. I have a question. Is Wago known as the Cursed Town? Is that something we know? Like when we walked into town, was there a sign
Yeah,
that
it's
says
on the sign,
Wago,
exactly.
the Cursed Town?
Last day since Cursed Zero.
It is in folklore it is known as the Cursed Town because there's a whole bunch of history that you're not entirely privy to. You've heard some of the ship hands call it the Cursed Town. You've heard some of the city guards call it a Cursed Town. You're not entirely sure how literal that curse is, Omni.
They probably lean into it, like like the people from the Mothman Town. They have like little like cursed plushies. They have a cursed breakfast special at the
Yeah,
Roadhouse.
there's like a
Very
statue of the
American of
curse
you.
that's like weirdly caked up.
How dare you? How dare you? I don't. I just want to say that as for Omni, I think we should rendezvous with the rest of the party. But Seti is the voice of reason. I will let him decide.
Oh no, I was definitely.
Omni, you will also know that Blightwood gave you a lead to go to the abandoned fort to meet with somebody.
And
My
it'd be
Oh, yeah.
foolish for a commander to head into battle at the top of the line, with no
It
backup,
would
with no flank.
be foolish.
It would be foolish.
LOL.
All right.
my idea would have been to send Peligro to go Saseti and Omni with a message that we would probably go to the community center since the Roadhouse opens up later. Or the other option would then be if we still be split, that there's a message that we meet up at the Roadhouse at 8 p.m. or so.
It depends on how late it is, I guess.
I'd say currently it's like noon.
Yeah, we're going to the
Hmm.
community center, I would say.
Yeah, but the one option is that we go together to the community center. So the message would be, we go to the community center, please go with us.
Mhm.
Or if we stay split, then the message would just be, when you are finished with your doings, you can meet us at the Roadhouse.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, folks. How do you want to do it? Do you just the four of you just want to go to the community center?
That makes sense. Although I am thinking if it's noon, like, do they have in and out at this place or something? Can we go for a burger?
Definitely. Like the day staff would be at the Roadhouse to serve you some meals. Just you
Ah.
can't really book a room just yet.
Hmm.
I want to go to the Owago fried chicken.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. I'm waiting for Peligro to tell me to go at the fried chicken.
All right, folks. But where do you really want to go?
For my case, I've just chosen a location, so City would think it's Omni's turn to pick.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Well, we are not going to the abandoned fort. I'm telling you right now, we're not going before we meet with everyone. That is absolutely foolish. To step in on the enemy's terms is absolutely ridiculous. Sun Tzu's Art of War, chapter Who Remembers. I'm almost considering maybe we could go back to the ship and warn everyone and be ready to leave in case something stupid happens.
No, but that
That's-
would be
that's-
clever.
I like.
You're right. Ooga Booga instead.
I like the idea of waiting for something stupid to happen.
So I'm just gonna
but I-
put Stacy and Tyr on the community center, and one final say, Maxi, do the two of you go to the community center, or do you go to the Ariane way?
Okay, so we will be rendezvousing together at the Roadhouse later today, and that will be our
That's right.
rendezvous. So definitely, I'm going to the Ariane Way to inform them of what we have learned, the presence of this previously thought to be folklore black circus, and basically, keep the ship running just in case, because you never know.
Oh, you were also told to send a reminder to Ren to keep an eye on Farah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The hard one.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in the
Alright.
message at Peligro Snack.
Exactly.
Perfect. Peligro unfortunately comes back with a bee sting. Poor guy.
Oh,
For players who are not here before, Peligro is Stacy's pet hamster. And yes,
Hamster!
Yes.
Yes.
I thought it was a bird!
No, it's a hamster.
and again, I love that its name is Peligro, which is Spanish for danger. I love that.
Hamsters are extremely dangerous. Speaking of extremely dangerous and Spanish speaking, Plague, where do you want to go?
I kind of wanna head a little bit towards the direction of the.
You said you want to ambush one of them and do a sneak attack on one of those groups.
We get to the ship, everyone's panicking. There's bees everywhere.
Get off the
That'd be an
boat!
option. I will tell you, like, there's definitely a lot more guards, a lot more like mortals for you to tend with if you go to the Ariane Way. If you go to the community center, you're basically on your home turf.
Sneak attack
Yeah,
the
I
one
think I'll-
player that isn't here.
Probably,
I think I'll go to the community center. I feel like I want to go to a roadhouse. That's pretty close to the. To that location. You know,
I
I'll
will
probably stop
say,
by
like,
some flan on the
this
way
this
over
map
there.
is kind of truncated. Wago is like a town of like 500-ish people. It wouldn't be like this literal like little village. But yeah, I would like hang out near the community center, near the gardens there. A couple of bees just pollinating the flowers in the garden, kind of buzzing in and out the trees. It would be beautiful, really, if it wasn't so dangerous.
If the bees weren't fucking glowing.
The bees weren't fucking glowing. The bees. Anyway, we pick up
Bees
now.
nuts. Got him.
We pick up now with Omni and Seti as you head back to the Ariane Way. It's been a couple of hours. You've been out and about. You can see some of the crew hands returning with some of the scrap robots that they weren't able to trade off with any of the merchants. Naturally, you now meet the captain of the ship, who before that was just the vice captain. And he says, "Ah, hello, friends.
Captain.
So back so soon already?"
Yeah, it was
Well,
Omni's
did
turn to decide.
just stare at me. I know I look different. Listen, not everyone just loses an eye and takes it gracefully, yes?
Oh, but
So,
you
what
do.
is it? You look like you've seen several ghosts and maybe a couple of bees. She swats away one of the bees from her shoulder.
Well, I would first like to say that the scar looks good on you. It is a reminder of the past and proof that you have survived. So do not, do not despair. The eye patch looks good on you. Nonetheless, Seti and I have decided to come back a little sooner than expected. In part because this quaint little village has some more going on than we would have expected. We've been ambushed by a ghost of sort, a spirit talking to us, threatening us. There appears to be some sort of conspiracy here.
Conspiracy, you say? Well, I knew that Catan was fucking cursed. One of her former engineers was from this town, and she never liked to talk about it. I could see not Vina.
I
Fortunately,
thought the sign was just. I thought the sign was just for fun, you know, like a quaint little cursed village, but nonetheless.
Well, I wish the signs would have been a little bit more clear. Very well. I'll tell the remaining guards that they should look out for any kind of spectral assailants. Can you describe the spirit to me? And I assume you just give her a description of the strange skull mask wearing satyr.
Yup.
Oh, very well. I'll ask. Maybe I'll send send some of the engineers out to the community center. Maybe we can find something about this black circus. Maybe we can get the motor running sooner or later. So maybe we can just stay in the air for the time being. Maybe the bees can't get us there, and she swats away another bee. Thank you. Your name was Omni, yes?
Yes. That's
She
me.
smiles. Give me an insight check.
Let's go. All right. Insight. I think I have terrible wisdom. Let's go. Yeah, okay, that is D20 minus 1. Oh, 12.
With a 12, you can tell that Hall isn't really used to being deferred to yet. Of course, once Alphonse was dead, the engineers were immediately like, well, she's obviously the most competent and most hardworking person here. She has to be the captain. But she hasn't really gotten used to it. And now that you've talked to her with such deference, she's reminded that she actually can do all this. And maybe she's taking a little bit of a shine to you. Maybe you've got a favor with the captain now.
Hey! But
Very well.
definitely, as our purpose of coming here so early was to inform you that things don't look quite as peaceful as we would have liked, as I would have liked. A quaint little village run by the little people. Nonetheless, best we keep the ship ready to leave at a time's notice.
Say the word little people, as you say the phrase little people to a gnome.
I will say I'm
she
also
gives-
short, so again,
She's like a head troll, and then she looks up at you like, okay, I see how it is. Meanwhile,
Wait, no, I'm not racist. This is our first time talking.
Meanwhile,
Okay,
Seth is in the corner, literally going short.
With his
Anyway.
180 or whatever.
Wait. No, you know what? I'm not. I don't have the wisdom to catch this interaction. I'm just gonna.
anyway,
Someone thinks I'm a piece of shit. All right, this is fine. This is fine.
She thanks you once again for warning the crew. As somebody steps out of the airship, Xiomara, why don't you roll me a d6?
Oh god, immediately getting put into action.
Yes, on that spot you go.
That is a 3.
Okay, I'll tell you later. Xiomara, you know that sometime last night the airship managed to finally land in Wago, your destination. Maybe it was a couple nights ago. You don't remember? You've been in such a state the last week that the days have just kind of been bleeding together. But it does feel nice to have firm ground under your feet again, to smell the fresh forest air, and hear the strange buzzing of what appears to be a legion of bees.
Oh god.
Xiomara, what is going through her head right now?
That is such a good question. What is going through my head right now? I
You
think
know that the rest of your party has already gone on ahead, and you're not entirely sure what
Okay.
your feeling regarding them is either.
yeah, I think I'm just very relieved that I'm alone right now and I can work a little bit through all of this
That
by
being
myself.
said, you step up the ship. You step up the ship, and you see the captain of the ship talking with Omni and Seti. Omni, as they spot you, I presume, shoots you the dirtiest look anyone's ever shot anyone.
And
Mensch.
so much has happened, so much is happening. This is not my biggest concern right now, somehow, that our newest party member doesn't like me anymore.
It
Yeah,
should be.
I know for you it should be. That is very true. I was your best friend, but you weren't mine. So, yeah.
Fuck. I'm back to being mad. You know what?
Anyway, Samara, what you doing?
Can I see? Okay, so how does the surrounding look like where we are? I see a lot of woods.
You are in the middle of a large bluish, greenish, coniferous forest. You know that you're near the town of Wago. You've been given a small map. You can make out some landmarks. You reckon you could probably go to one of them. After a while, you get approached by a little hamster. Or maybe
Mhm.
it's Seti or Omni telling you that the party has decided to meet at the Roadhouse at 8 p.m.-ish. Until then, you have basically the entire day to yourself. It is currently noon. There are a couple of locations you could go to here.
How long would it take for me to go to the abandoned fort? Because that sounds sinister as fuck.
be about half a mile out, so maybe like 2-ish hours just to get there, and then maybe a little bit less to get back as you get to know the paths better. But yeah, for sure,
Okay,
it's definitely
then-
doable within the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That sounds cool. I
Anything
think I
else?
hope
Any
I
other
can be alone.
any other interactions as you pass Omni and Seti?
I would like to tell Seti them that I'm going to an abandoned fort, so that if I'm not back in the evening, they should maybe come look for me.
Was that in the
Um,
morning before we went to the smithy, or we came back from the smithy?
No. This is as you are standing here at the Arianwe at noon. Xiomara is coming out as they've had a rough night and they weren't feeling well, and now they come out of the ship
Yeah.
finally, and they're like, "I need to clear my head. I'm going to the abandoned fort. Do not look for me unless I don't come back. Goodbye."
I need to
Something like
sort
that.
out my thoughts. I need to brood.
And they probably like throw on their arms a lot as well. They're just like, "Oh, whoa."
It's woe me.
Either like literally probably not even have the time to respond. It's like, but that's Xio, there's a trap waiting there. No, okay, bye.
No, I
Right.
disagree. It's a good
Um,
idea. I think more
you
people
go
should
off
go
to the-
alone.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
You go off to the abandoned fort. Great. Where would you like to go after this, Omni and Seti? You can also just go up to the community center and just meet up with your friends after they're done there.
I'm really thinking, should we follow?
Since one of us, there might come a time when we will need to save Xiomara against their own judgment. Best we rendezvous with the others.
Maybe
Very
it's
well.
best
And
that
you
we're
make your
four of
way
us.
to the you make your way to the community center. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
At the community center, so
Also, very
currently,
important. I tried to take some food from the Arianwe for the go. I'm
you
hungry.
take a couple of snacks. You've got like a what did people eat back then?
What
Yeah,
is it?
Some
Fruit.
yeah, some like rolls, some like sweet rolls. You know,
Oh.
a bowl of mac and cheese, instant mashed
big
Cup
potatoes,
of- cup of
Lobster.
instant noodles.
a whole baguette.
You eat some nondescript food on your way there. Anyway, at the community center, you, Tyr, and Stacy, you make your way up. You can see it used to be like a manor belonged to the mayor of this house. Of course, Wago hasn't had a mayor for many, many, many years. Instead, you kind of learn from listening to the townsfolk here that Wago actually has something called a weird, which is like a tree seer, a witch who communicates with the trees and the forest and guides the people both spiritually and, politically. But she's not here. Instead, she has left her daughter in charge, a strapping, young adult drow woman by the name of Marthi. As soon as I can find her. Ah, there you go.
Oh no, she's hot.
I love
Oh,
getting that
no.
reaction. I love that anytime I show the characters any kind of portrait, they're like, "Oh no."
No, I hear Stacy say that. I'm like, really? I mean, I don't. I feel like I haven't. I guess.
Stacy, of course, the last time you saw Mari, she looked still the same, but you didn't. You were like a teenager, and now that you've grown to an adult, you suddenly realize a lot of things you didn't realize before. As she approaches you and says, "Stacy, is that you? My goodness. You've become an adult, how about that? Oh, I'm very glad to see all of you, though I wish you'd come at a better time. Is that airship yours?"
Oh, well, it's not mine. It's Tyr.
Yes,
You
it
should
belongs to
tell
me.
more about.
Well,
It belongs to you.
I was in charge
She looks.
of
She
taking care of
starts looking for some kind of tabard, but then realizes you're just a guy in armor. A mercenary?
Well, it's a long story. I was in charge of, protecting it. Let's not talk about that. Anyways,
What?
we came here on some sort of suggestion. Hey, Stacy, do you remember why we are here?
Yeah, because we want to, hear what's on about in this region, and you already told us that it's not the best time. So what's up?
Well, as you might be able to tell, Maquella, my mother, isn't here. She's left me in charge about 2 weeks ago, and so far I've just been trying to keep it together. I assure you, it's very important business that she left on. Well, if you're here on adventuring business in the town of Wago, I'll be happy to help you out. We've got a map room. You're free to take yourself copies there. We've got a library with some history. I can give you a bestiary that was written by your old master, actually, while she was still studying to be a druid. She just came by a couple days ago. She's now currently camping at the abandoned fort, in case you want to meet up with her.
Did your mother say where she went?
It's complicated. Don't worry about it. Give me a perception check.
Doing the perception check. It's
Perception or insight? Up to you.
cock. Wait, let me also do insight. I mean, just insight. Insight is fine.
Oh. She might be competent and well put together, but she can't hide that she's upset about something. But someone. And she tells you not to worry about her mother.
If that's the case, I'm sure there's something important that she has to do. I won't bother you about it again. But what can you? I've never been here. What can you tell me about this town here?
Well, I can only tell you what's in the history books. And she takes you over to the library and she pops open a general history book that was written by one of the scholars. Wago used to be a colonial town, same as Maracas. We were built when a caravan of soldiers riding south through the woods came across a glade of sylphs. They called it Wanashka, and it had a fey song very similar to the one currently growing in the town square. A fight broke out, as it inevitably does between mortal and fey, and the fey seemed to draw the shorter stick. Anyway, a couple years later, Queen Lumia suddenly decided to declare war on all fey and miserably failed. They even built a whole fort within 2 weeks. It took the fey one night to take it and render it abandoned. It's been cursed ever since. A couple generations down, we stopped worshipping the old faith and we made contact with the druids. As Stacy will be able to tell you, we've been very close with the Autumn Circle ever since. And ever since then, we don't have a mayor. Instead, we have a weirdess in our case, my mother, who is in contact with the trees and speaks for them and guides us. That's basically it. All you know. The druids keep us safe from any kind of creatures, The Rat Lord, the Night-Eyed King, the Black Circus, or what have you.
Of course. Any chance
So-
your mother went to the abandoned fort?
I'm sure Mother Ashling would have told me about it. Mother Ashling being Stacy's old master, like a middle-aged druidess. But she hasn't, and no. Listen, I'm as bad as lying as I am at not keeping my promises, so I'll make this short. My mom ran off to the forest to be with someone I don't know.
B.
She makes close.
Got him.
She makes sure the doors are close to the library as she takes you into her office. She starts telling you about how, about a fortnight ago, my mother attacked me in the middle of the night. Got out a knife and started stabbing at me, and I barely managed to overcome her. And then she started crying and said that she had confused me with my father. A man I'd never met. A man no one knows. In shame, or perhaps in indignation, she left the town at that point and left me in charge. I have no idea where she went. I just know that she was looking for my father, who she called the Flautist. I wish I could tell you more.
Right.
Listen, I'll be happy. I have another thing to reveal. I got a letter a couple of weeks ago saying that I got a letter a week ago saying that the prince is looking for something called a blue light, a blue lamp. I happen to know where it is. I suspect when you find it, you will also find my mother. I hope I do not have to explain the consequences of this. Just, if you help me find my mother, I will be in your debt. I will be able to help you around the forest.
Stacy face palms and goes like, "Of course, everything is intertwined."
Stacy, shut up. Anyways. Buddy.
Damn.
Did you just say anyways?
Heaven
Did you just-
forbid a half dragon woman do anything.
Did you just say anyways and then bye and then left this woman to her own devices? Is that what's happened?
No. I want to be like Mari. You said something about a blue light, was it? Blue lamp?
You don't have to be coy with me, guard. I know what you are now. It makes sense. I knew you would send adventurers here to find the blue light, or blue lamp, whatever it's called.
What on earth are you talking about?
I don't know what it is, I just know that the Black Circus wants it. And if the flautist is with the Black Circus and my mother is there, then you can get my mother and then it can help you get the lamp.
Do you know that swarm of bees out there? I look around like scarily looking if there's a bee in here.
Officer, you're not allergic, are you?
Yes. Also, that
There's nothing to be ashamed of, officer. Here, and she hands you like a satchel of poultice. Me too. You can put this on any kind of bee sting and it will neutralize the venom immediately.
I'm literally baffled for 5 seconds, but then I compose myself and I say, "Look, earlier in the town square, we met the swarm of bees that manifested into a person. Some kid screamed that they were part of the Dark Circus. They talked about a blue light, and for some reason, my short friend here, short stack, if you will, said something about not trusting them. Look." They were looking for the blue light as well.
That doesn't make any sense.
Where is it?
If the bees are with the Black Circus, oh god, I can't believe it. Can you hear what I'm saying? I'm hearing what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. She starts laughing maniacally. No. If the bees are with the Black Circus, that means they already have the lamp, which means it was trying to fool you, whatever it is. I've heard about rangers who become one with their swarm if they spend too much time in the forest. I've heard about druids who become one with the flock. It doesn't seem that far-fetched that a beekeeper would become one with a swarm.
So you're telling me the swarm knows the flautist who has the lamp that everybody seems to be looking for? Am I getting this right? And you know where they are? You know where it is?
I can give you direction, but you have to promise me to bring back my mother.
I will do my best. I think my new friends are looking for it, so...
I just
I'm
want
in
my
for
mother
this.
back. Okay?
Right.
Right. Very good. I'll tell the townsfolk with whatever authority I have that they can assist you whatever way possible, okay?
All right.
You can take a cut here. And she hands you, Stacy, the bestiary that was written by your master, by Mother Ash. And she hands you a couple of maps too, and you should be able to find your way around the forest more easily now. Is there anything else you would like to do at the community center?
Sorry, I took this over. I didn't mean to.
Totally fine. It's good. It's funny.
I'm more offended that you called it a short stack.
I'm still combo broken, by the way. That means that Stacy has a huge pair of knockers. That's what that means.
Listen,
short
I will
stack
say
means
that
2 things. You're short and you have huge titties.
As
Here's the
far as I
thing,
know, it's common.
when I was sending my first sketches for Stacy character design to Coolstar, she had a couple of notes, among them being that, if I remember this correctly, exactly that. So Tira's even that far off. So
Is this how I'm finding out Stacy's packed? Jesus.
Stacked.
Back.
Yeah,
Uh,
Stacy, as far as we know,
short
doesn't have a big dick. So
Big-
anyway,
As far as we
um,
know.
okay. Short stack, Tier. What are we doing?
Stacy approaches Marty and hugs her in like, don't worry, there will be a way. I can't promise it's a good way, but we will do our
You can
best.
feel a teardrop landing on her shoulder. She says, "Thank you, Stacy. I know you are always
Teardrop?
trustworthy." If you say that in character, she's going to give you a scowl and maybe even punch you in the guts. so
I did
maybe
not
think
say that
about
in character. Please, for the love of God.
And Ronnie is right. At least stop Substack. By the way, in
What
my
is
head, I've
this?
been stylizing it as short stack and then no K at the end, so it's still SDAC like Stacy.
Short Stacy.
Short stick.
But you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Indiana Jones. Wasn't there also a scene where Indiana Jones referred to a young boy as, come on, short stack?
Yeah, but Short Stack is just his friend.
Okay.
Like in that series.
Yeah, good.
Very bad.
But I was
Okay.
reminded of that, so it was funny.
Okay, so you give Marty a hug as you leave the community center. You stand now in the gardens, in the community gardens, and the bees start swarming around you again. As Sweet Song once again makes his nefarious entrance. Take it away, Plague.
Greetings, it is I, Sweet Song of the Black Circus. Wait, I know you too. Wait a minute. I thought I told you to boss off out of this town. Yet you still here, not
Yeah.
behaving, not minding your own business.
Business.
We've gone to the roadhouse, grab a flan together, but no. Now it's time for a beating, folks.
I thought we showed
Oh.
I thought we showed this swarm what for?
Where the hive is.
Yeah.
Anyway, the two of you can roll me once again to a d10 each. I'm gonna roll 2d20 for Sweet
Oh.
Song.
I will use my last inspiration for
fucked.
that.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
What
shit.
do you mean? Why
With
do
a
you let me roll a
29
d10?
against- With a
Well,
29 against 12.
What?
Okay, wait,
What?
hold up. Tier did
You
in
had-
fact roll a d10. Hold up.
What? You had Franz, you had the potential to roll a 40, and you were like, "Oh, let them roll 2d10s. I don't care. It's not like they can win."
No, Siska is probably doing Iron Sword rules where it's each 1d20 against a d20.
But she told me to roll a d10.
Oh, wait, did Siska say roll a d10?
Yeah. It's been detailed.
Oh, good.
Alright,
get-
alright.
Oh,
Alright,
get wrecked,
okay,
losers.
okay, you
Get wrecked.
motherfuckers! Each of you
Yeah,
can.
no, get him, Siska, get him.
Fucking hell, fucking
I
hell.
want to see what the bees do.
Come on, Siska, kill him.
The bees once again swarm you. This time they take you by surprise. You can't quite make it out alive. In the end, you're left on the ground, unconscious though still alive, and covered in bee stings. Each of you are reduced to 1 hit point. You're now unconscious. Just in time for Seti and Omni to find you. What is your closing remark as you leave the scene, Sweet Song?
I can just imagine like all the bees like grouped up and made like a
Wait,
big
wait,
old
I have
hammer.
it. Be seeing you.
I let out
Just
a final groan.
The bees scatter as you hear the last echo of bees seeing you. As Sweet
Swatted
Song-
like a fly.
Uh,
Fly
Like
like,
moth
a butterfly,
like
sting like a
freedom.
bee.
Sadie and Omni, you shockingly find Stacy and Tyr in the community gardens, unconscious and covered in bee stings. This can only mean one thing. The bees got him.
Is it
Someone's been
normal
here.
for
Someone's been here.
bees?
I assume the two of you take care of them and kind of
Yeah.
stabilize them, bring them back to consciousness.
Omni, you
Stacy
give
remembers
mouth-
to put the pole.
Look, there's it. Omni, you give mouth to Stacy. I'll get Tyr.
Wow, ever notice that Stacy has huge breasts?
Honestly, didn't notice till now. Weirdly enough.
You know, it's because I'm actually below boob level, so I don't even
Yeah.
notice.
You've never
You
seen
are my
Stacy's
entire
face until
soul.
now.
Right.
Wait, are like Omni and me same height?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I'm gonna leave the scene right there. I'm just gonna assume the four of you recuperate and plan your next move. As you now turn through the abandoned fort. The halls of this abandoned fort are since overgrown with moss and plants and creeping vines. You can hear the sound of birds and small raptors in the air, as well as the unceasing buzzing of bees. Xiomara, as you make your way up the strangely well-kept stairs of this otherwise abandoned fort, as you make yourself into the courtyard, you can see a little campsite. A singular tenant looking strangely at an even stranger shrine. A large figure with a long mane of fiery red hair turns around to look at you. She says, "Oh,
Ooh.
hello.
Oh no, she's hot.
Wasn't expecting you either."
It's hot.
Hold your tongue. She's my mother, okay?
Oh,
I like
no, your
MILFs.
mother is hot.
I wish she
hello
was
there.
a man.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. Thank you, Maxi. Anyway,
Yes.
Simara, you are a very tall person, but you can see that this kind of giant-kin druid turns around and looks at you with not unfriendly eyes as she sees you, smiling inadvertently. You stumbled on
I'm
her
s-
campsite, though. Yes.
I'm smiling back. You know, pretty woman and all that.
Oh no, no, Xia's gonna be doing Stacy's mom. No.
Then, have you come to see the old fort? I'll be happy to show you around. I've been here a couple times.
Did she say
I
fart?
would love to. I didn't know that there were people living in it, to be honest.
Oh,
We
no, I'm
just
just-
arrived.
Ah, right. See, I came all this way just to investigate something about a large airship landing here. I'm glad it wasn't brigands, but just adventurers. Right. No, I'm just camping here on the fort. I'll be moving on in a couple of days anyway. I'll be happy to show you around. You seem a little upset. Maybe I can help you clear your mind. You're free to grab some of my tea if you want. I made way too much.
That is amazingly kind of you. I did have a very rough evening. Let's say it like that.
She pulls out like a mat and pulls it on the ground next to like her campfire with the tea kettle, and she invites you to sit down next to her. What? We can talk
Yeah.
about it.
I
This
will
wouldn't be the
sit
strangest
down
thing.
immediately.
Right.
I'm seated.
I thought I haven't introduced myself. I'm Mother Ashling of the Ultim Circle. Usually I'm in charge of it, but these days they don't really need me. They might find on their own, and the forest is strangely abuzz with creatures I can't write.
Yeah, tell me
rightly
about
make
it.
out.
Yeah, with
Sorry about that.
bees. I heard them while I was
Oh.
walking here.
Tia is
Doesn't
struggling
happen
to
all-
talk through his face that is on up still.
Oh yes.
Completely swollen up.
Yeah.
Right, so you must come. It doesn't happen often that civilized folk come out here all the way to Wago. Especially not that somebody from civilized folk come up here to the abandoned fort. Some say it's the most cursed place in the entire cursed town.
Is it? It doesn't seem that cursed to me, and I've seen some things.
A butterfly kind of lands on her, on the antler that she's put on her hair, and she says, "Yeah, no, I know. It's only cursed the civilized folk. Back when this fort was built, it didn't last very long before nature reclaimed it. And now, as any druid does, I am making my home here in nature. Comfy, you know. I've always liked bones, and when you think about it, an abandoned building is just the bones of civilizations.
Hmm.
But that's just my silly musings. Right. So what bothers you, child?
Did you ever okay, it is very hard for me to say this very plainly. Did you ever think that someone that was very close to you really, really hated you, only to then find out that that person actually like loved you a lot, but you still hate them? And kind of getting over that is obviously very hard, and I do not know if I want to be like, oh, forgiveness and all that. Not to say that it's bad, but it's just not my style usually. Yeah, emotions are very much not my forte, so yeah.
Oh, I understand you. People used to say I was too cruel, too straightforward. They said, "Ashling, you will never be master of the circle. At least you know how to talk to children." So I did it. I adopted a strange hermit child living in the woods, and I tried to raise her as best I could, but she still walked away. But that's fine.
Hmm.
Children are hard like that, you know. No. Let me tell you a little bit about my master. She was called Mother Salamander. And well, I'll tell you right now, she was a bitch. Back when my little sister and I were orphaned, we were taken up by the druids, and they immediately said that my poor little sister has to live across the coast with the civilized folk, so she can try and heal nature. While I have to hang out here in this godforsaken forest. And I was never good enough for Salamander, no. But that's because she knew I was skilled. And while that doesn't maybe compare to a real father or a real mother, which I never really had, she was the only thing I had, and with time I realized that even if I didn't like her, we were on the same side here. And even a couple of years, while most of my friends maybe have come and gone, she will still be my mother, whether I like it or not. I think in the end, the old goal is we have to learn to make peace. It's become very clear to me now that I'm an adult woman that she never meant to hurt me, she just didn't know how to talk to me. And what I've also learned is that adults are just children who pretend to know everything. So don't take it too harshly. I think your father, or whoever it was, I think was just as confused as you are now. And you don't have to forgive him. No, absolutely not. But you can understand, I think. And understanding is the first base of a relationship. At least that's what I think. How's the tea, by the way?
First, can I insight check that lady?
What would you like to insight?
I want to insight how she knew that it might have been my father I was talking about.
All right.
I do
Well,
not
you
trust that.
you dress in all black. You have a lot of eyeliner and eyeshadow.
I dress in mostly purple, by the way.
I don't literally scream daddy issues.
No, please give me an insight check DC. Let's call it a 15. There you go.
16,
16.
baby.
She talked about one pupil that she's raised, but you can tell that being the mother of a dragon circle, i.e. the Grand Master, she's probably had to deal with a lot of like homeless children who are like, I want to be a druid now. Fuck you, Dad. And maybe she's not assuming so much as she's just projecting. Maybe she had daddy issues herself.
See, we can bond over that. Okay. Yeah, I take a sip of that tea. Is it good? Tell me, is it good? What is the flavor?
Is it poisoned? Is it laced with anything?
Actually, it's ginger sloe tea. That's slow with an E, which is a type of plum-like fruit that grows on certain like bushes. It has kind of a bitter, sharp, sweet taste. And it's delicious, and it's giving you a lot of clarity that you didn't have before. Also, you didn't realize your throat was as dry as it is now, but it's not anymore. I don't know if that was helpful
Tea's
at all.
very
but-
good.
Ah,
It was.
no worries. No worries. I
A little bit even admire your sense for forgiveness, which don't think I have. But it's a perspective to look out for.
I reckon you're not quite my age yet.
Mm.
You have some time yet.
I mean, you don't look a day over 30.
Oh, that's very generous. Very well, a druid is never tells her age. That being said, would you like to take a walk around the fort with me? I'd like to look at a couple of plants that I've planted here over the years. I'll admit, I'm kind of infatuated with this here fort. It's kind of forlorn and beautiful. As you finish your tea,
I can
and maybe have a
understand
little,
why.
maybe have a few like oatmeal cookies. I don't know what Ashley has in her fucking pockets. Take a walk around the fort, and you leave behind the shrine that she built her camp at, which had a confusing statue at it, seeming to depict some kind of deity, with closed eyes, with 3 closed eyes, long waving hair, and 2 sets of wings. You can give me a religion check there, but you can come back to that later too. Please add to your inventory
later.
5 healing herbs, which can be turned into like greater healing potions. With some alchemy. As you walk around the fort, pick some herbs that Aisling has planted. Talk to some of the animals, though. Aisling seems to be doing most of the talking.
And to stand behind her, sinister.
You come back to your fort, to her camp, and she takes out a sketchbook and starts sketching the statue. And she says, "It's the strangest thing, you know. I thought at first it was a shrine to Sylvana, the goddess of the forest, but it's not. It's a shrine to a much older goddess, one that we've forgotten here in the modern era. Now you can give me a religion check."
Religion, where is my religion? Wait, where is my religion check? There's my religion check.
Have you losing?
My religion is not at all.
Thank you,
Oof.
thank you.
Well, they can't all be winners.
With a 9, you've never been very religious or very spiritual even. You do know a little bit about Sylvana, the goddess of the forest. Who's like the main subject of worship for most druids. You vaguely remember that she had a mother who was supposed to be both the goddess of like wild animals, but also of darkness. And you remember something about her being portrayed with a closed eye, or at least 3 closed eyes. And that hits you. That's the shrine to Umbra, the dead goddess of darkness. Very strange, don't we think? Do you find? It's recent too, meaning somebody built it within like the past couple of years and is still maintaining it. I'd like to know who.
Yeah, religious churches or shrines don't usually just come out of the blue. Maybe someone in town knows. Question mark.
I reckon, though. Oh, I'm afraid if I come to town, they'll go running and screaming.
Well,
I'm
I
the
can ask
protector of
for
this
you.
town. Oh, very well. Feel free to tell me, and if you come by the Autumn Circle, that's where you'll probably find me next. Very well. You're free to stay at my camp for as long as you wish, though I believe your adventuring friends expect you somewhere else by the end of the night.
You believe
That's
correct.
quite alright. Right then. Very well. If you want, I can walk you back to town. It's always better to walk together.
That would once again be very kind of you. That's I must believe you are one of the kindest people I've yet known.
Oh, don't say that. It'll go to my head. As you descend from the hill, the buff, with all the wooded buff that the hill was that the fort was built on and then abandoned. Strange, sinister feeling comes over you. The forest around you seems to be getting darker, even though Ashling next to you seems to be a comforting presence for the most part, you can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. Out of nowhere, somebody appears in the road in front of you. A satyr approaches. Oh, a little taller than you, though that might just be the horns. Blonde hair waving and waving behind him. Wearing what appears to be a strange feathered robe and a strange skull mask, his eyes completely black. He says something in a language you can't understand as he converses with Mother Ashling, unless you speak Primordial.
Wait, let me look that up.
Or I think you have comprehend languages or something.
If I will just cast comprehend languages really quickly. Do I? Yes, I have it, and I will cast it. Yippee!
As he casts a spell, the creature, his face turns to you, and he grins in sick recognition.
Ah, the shepherd has come and found another of her flock. What did she tell you, child? Did she make you feel like she was the kindest person in the world? Some say there are dragons out there who who play with their prey before they devour it. Isn't that right, little dragon?
And he bares his teeth behind his skull mask. Mother Ashling has still stopped in her tracks and is looking unimpressed over at the creature. Blightwood, still true to your name, as you blight these woods to this day.
Quite so. And you are still quite sharp. And still quite dangerous. Do not you worry. I'm not actually here. I'm not that stupid. Watch out now, little wizard. You make a you you are in dangerous company. All right. Stay high from to Stacy from me, will you? I hear bee stings heal especially well if you pour lemon juice over them. Ta-ta.
It disappears to a cloud of black smoke. I'm sorry about that. The creatures of the Saurus have been getting ever more bold. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm quite well. This is I'm surprisingly used to getting ambushed by people with black eyes. Lately, at least it didn't happen in my own home. So, yeah.
She stares at you. That's all. You should tell me about those creatures another time. But only
Maybe I will.
we can talk about it on the way to town if you want. But maybe I'll just walk you there in silence. Don't worry, I'll protect you against whatever creatures might be lurking.
You're very sweet.
A singular bee lands on a tree trunk next to you. You don't see it, Yamara. Neither, it seems, does Ashling.
Not
Sweet Song, what you
bees.
see is a dragon taken on a humanoid form, walking a tall wizard back to town. The wizard doesn't seem to realize that they're in the company of a dragon, and you don't know quite what the dragon is planning with that little morsel. you make your way. Do you tell Ashling about the creatures you've met, Simara?
No, no.
Okay. Then in quietude, you make your way. The two of you make your way back to the town.
Quietude.
Grand. Quietus, if you will. Quietitude. Very well. Somewhere out in the in a clearing, the afternoon sun beating down on the soft forest floor, a swarm of bees manifests into a person. Once again, Sweet Song, you are joined by your dastardly brother Blightwood. Those two of you as he says,
Ah, bees. Such a tease. You've given them a good what for this time. Sweet Song, isn't that right?
That is right. Yes, yes. Any luck trying to get these people out?
Oh. Oh, no. I'm just adding a little taste of what the delicious mines taste like. Don't you worry. My plan stands as it is, and if we are still in agreement, then you shall be free of this curse and be able to claim the circus for yourself, my friend. It'll be rather
Yes.
simple. It'd be rather simple, you'll see. Very well. Have you learned anything about our friends?
No. And you said Sweet Son actually saw like, one of the characters like transformed from like dragon form into human form.
now what you saw was one of the characters accompanied by a dragon who was very clearly transformed into a humanoid form, and that's what you would know. That's who you would know to be Ashling. Ashling the
Oh, okay.
druidess.
Okay.
You know the druids. They've been around in the forest for a long time, kind of opposing the Black Circus wherever they could. And also know that for the longest time, the head of the druid circle traditionally has always been a dragon.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. Fair to say that would have been a terrible time to ambush.
Ah, yes. Dragons. Oh, I got a little taste of Mother Ashling myself. She still closes off her mind to me. Poor Ashling. She doesn't know what she's missing. See, I can be quite agreeable, but I don't have to explain that to you. Very well. They'll be meeting up tonight at the Roadhouse. I assume you've gathered as much.
I see.
Indeed. That's where we will be as well.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We'll be
Meh.
Remembering that he's a
Merry
satyr.
Christmas.
So, party.
Hell yeah.
One last reshuffle for the afternoon round before we retreat to the Roadhouse. There isn't any place you haven't been to yet, I don't think. But you can always revisit and see if you can find something else there.
I think
Go on,
it's
don't be
time we
shy.
head to the. I think it's time for us to head to the Roadhouse. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hit the long rest button in Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, one of the
No,
short
not
ones
yet.
is correct.
What are you telling me? There's nothing else going on at the Roadhouse? It's just a big old save point, just a big old floating crystal of a Final Fantasy.
So, before you go, flash forward to the Roadhouse, or rather, you go there in the afternoon, already book your rooms, just kind of stretch your legs. Talk a little bit to the locals, perhaps even waiting for Lafave to return at the end of the evening so she can catch you up on what's happened with her.
At what point did we had to go retrieve Xio if we didn't see them?
Good question. I assume they said something like, I assume Xiomara said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Algernon, that if they didn't show up to the
Oh
Roadhouse
yeah,
at the
they
agreed
did say
time,
that. Seal did say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If I didn't show up like after 8 or something, then they should
After
come and
8.
save me.
Be
minty
home-
chocolate.
Be home by 9, please.
What
Then-
time is it? Like right now?
Right now it's like 2 p.m.
Okay, then
if
maybe
you want,
we did
if you want,
head.
we can just flash forward.
Mm-hmm.
We're eating at the Roadhouse, and in walks Theo, being like, "I told you to look for me if I was gone."
God, you
I-
guys disappoint me.
What
What
walks Samara
is
being like, only
the
had tea today.
what is the English name for Bienenstich? But the cake.
Oh, the cake.
I'm
Let's
looking
just
it
call
up
Oh,
it
as
that
a-
bee
as a-
is
sting.
so good.
Am I
Let's just
the-
call it bee sting. That's good.
I hope I'm not the only one who has no idea what you're talking about. Like, at least I
Oh,
have
it's
no,
such
Maxi
a
I'm
good
and
gonna-
cake. It's with
Play.
almonds and honey and everything. It's so good.
Hang on,
Maxi
I'm gonna
playing
drop it in
expert
German.
me
It's
It's
up
called
here.
bee sting cake.
Bee
It's called
sting
German
bee
cake.
sting
beef
What?
cake.
cake. Okay.
Yeah.
It's called
What?
pieces cake, and
so
it is delicious.
For people who don't know, it looks
Oh my
like some
God.
sort of like white cake. It has a large layer of
Um,
like cream filling between two layers of cake covered in almonds. It appears to be that.
Hmm.
and almonds
Yeah.
and
There's
honey.
also honey in it. Yes.
Exactly.
I,
You
where
can
the
pull up a
bees
picture on
appear.
stream if you want, Ant here.
is
Uh,
it supposed to? Does it look like that? Because it looks like a bee sting, like it's swollen up. Like a, is that what the joke is?
I have no idea.
Good question. Good question.
I'm not quite sure where the
Let me
name comes
Google.
from.
It
But
does
can-
look.
Ga-
It looks
like-
delicious.
No. Oh, yeah. I was about to also share the.
let's
video.
see, I have like a
Bienenstich.
okay, I have like a meme thing for. I'm gonna use that.
It's because there's like a legend that a guy was like that there was like a town that was overrun by bees, exactly like this town, and the guy was like, "No, I know how to get them away," and so he got the bees away, and to celebrate it, they made a cake that they then called bee sting, and that is why it's called that.
Holy fuck!
Can you imagine? You,
Oh
you-
my
you,
fucking.
Quick.
you
No,
save a
all
town,
of you,
and,
shut
and
up.
they don't even
I have
name
a
it
plan.
after you.
Yeah.
Yep.
They name it after the
guys,
bees.
guys, I have a plan. I have such a plan.
Folks, I think at this point it's fair if we take a little 5-minute break. The party has decided to that they want to end the day and just stay at the Roadhouse for the rest of the night, so they can talk about their plans.
I wanted to do something.
Do you want to do something else?
I
Tamara?
wanted to do one last thing with the hot mom.
You want to do
Bring
lunch
hot
one
mom
last
for
thing with-
dinner, right?
Do we need to?
I'm
be
not.
there
I'm
for
not
that?
bringing her for dinner. She cannot go into town, and people will be afraid.
She can go to town. It's just people will have a lot of
Can go
respect for
to
her,
town.
being that as she explained to you in no small words, is that she's basically in charge of the druid circle that keeps this town safe from outsiders and like evil creatures such as Blightwood.
Of course, she
wouldn't
wants
it
to
be-
come to dinner with
Wouldn't
me.
it be funny though if like Seal wants to take Stacy's mom on a date and we're just cock blocking?
Technically, you
So,
could
yeah.
take her to town, and I could definitely see like some potential like cool RP going on if you get her to meet Stacy again.
Oh my god!
A person she
You can
hasn't
get
seen
her
in
to
months.
town.
Decisions.
Stacy's mom
Decisions.
has come to town.
It's gonna be like, I met a super nice lady and we're out on a date. Hi, Stacy.
Okay, Samara. Jokes aside, what do you want to do specifically?
So we are like at the edge of town, right?
That's right.
Okay. Does she look like she wants to actually come with me into town, or would she rather stay? Like, what are the vibes that I'm getting?
She seems uneasy, but like if you ask her, she'll come with you. Mostly, it seems like she's
Yeah, but-
worried about you.
But I don't want to pressure her into something that she doesn't want to do.
Like
That's why I
kissing you?
No, like coming into town. Like,
She has no problem coming into town with you. She's mostly just worried about you, and she wouldn't take a lot of convincing to ask to accompany you because she's already like kind of worried about your safety ever since the two of you met with Blightwood.
Okay.
Damn, Seal, just ask her on a date.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna ask her if she wants to come to the Roadhouse with me because that's where we all meet up, and yeah.
Ah, very good. I need to talk with the innkeep anyway. recently helped him heal his wife, so might as well.
That is
I just need to
once
remember that
again
she's supposed to
incredibly
have.
kind. That is
I just
so
need to
kind.
remember that she's supposed to speak with a Galway accent and not with my stupid British accent. Anyway,
No, I have it in the back of my
yeah.
head always. Okay, but before we go to the roadhouse, before we are at the roadhouse, because I do not want to do this with everyone else present, I know that I have, I think, 5 never rolled roses in my backpack, and I would like to give her one as a thank you for giving me tea and a good talk.
God damn.
Cute.
Wow.
Very forward. Now hold
Amazing.
her
No,
hand.
I don't know how long we're gonna be here, you know.
She looks at her appreciatively and says, "Why, you must have fought a rose blight for this one, and those are quite hard to fight."
I did.
Not
And
bad.
I'm
Not bad.
really, really smart. So, you know.
Well, you are. I can tell you're sharp. You didn't seem very scared of the of Blightwood over there. She puts the rose in her hair. Very well. I wouldn't mind a little bit of a gift. I'm sure the mixologist back home can make something with this. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Let's go inside.
She gives you a questioning look as you enter the roadhouse. It is now late afternoon. As the innkeep swaps with who you presume is his wife. They're both Harangon, and he gets behind the counter and he looks at you expectantly. There he is.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
he here? Finally, someone for you.
Yeah,
All
dude,
right.
he's got it going on. Honestly, like, dude.
And I made this character. I was yesterday, for context, I was on Maxi's stream, or rather, I was in chat talking about how all my characters just kind of end up being either twinks or big, strong women. And Maxi was like, "How about a big dumb himbo?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't have an innkeeper character yet."
And Tia would like that.
Perfect.
Also, sorry, could you just repeat the bunny girl's name? Because I wrote her down as Bloop.
Oh,
I think that's
Nubla.
wrong.
Nubla.
Nubla.
You know
I
what? She's
wasn't
also
that
here.
Okay. Okay,
Because,
I
you know, this is
I
kind of
shouldn't
her
hit
home.
on
She
her
kinda lives
dad
here.
too much then.
No. You should stick it to that child.
I mean, okay, look. So
But
You do not need to justify yourself.
anyways.
as you approach the bar and he enters it,
It's like, all right, good evening, folks. Suppose you're one of those adventurers I've been hearing about. Right, no problem.
Yes.
Oh, Mother Ashling, it's a pleasure.
And she says, "Right back at you, Nubis. How's Federica holding up?"
Oh, she's never been better. You know, still lies in bed most of the day, but she's been getting back into her groove.
I'm very glad to hear it. As you wish. I believe this adventurer here wanted to pay dinner for me as a kind of retribution. So I don't know. Again, if
did.
you, it's very kind of them. So I'll just be sitting down over here. At that moment, she spots Stacy, and Stacy, you see your old master give you the biggest eyes.
How badly am I patched up at this moment? Am I still like at 1 HP?
Spend any number of hit die you want. I say you're like at half. You look pretty bad. You're covered in bee stings.
Like an anime
So
character.
I would be limping more or less when I decided to walk over.
Immediately, giving you a very serious look, Ashling is going to whip a hand around and cast heal on you, bring you back to full HP and curing all of your wounds.
Still
Stacy!
covered in swollen bee stings.
Stacy! Well, those count as wounds in my book.
Ah.
Stacy, what have you been getting into? This is the first time I see you in months, and oh dear. She goes to
Yes?
hug you very tightly. Not you,
Stacy,
Tyr. I said dear.
I know.
You piece of shit.
Stacy hugs Ashlyn as well. And
Oh,
I'm sorry to worry you.
you can hear it
Uh,
somewhere in the background. The scratchy voice of Lafave, who seems to be fighting with somebody again. But this time it's not Nubla. Right. So Stacy, the two of you catch up somewhere at your own table, while Lafave keeps fighting the same druid, who doesn't seem to be on the same mission as Ashling, though. You do recognize him, and you know that his name is Might. Might goes up to his room, leaves Lafave behind, who just shrugs. The rest of you are free to just order any amounts of drinks, which are on Lafave today. And Nuba says, "Right, yeah, the farm over here, bless her heart. She said all the drinks were on her, so that being said, rooms are still on you, folks." You can see Nubla is just kind of peeking out behind him. It's kind of eyeing you all with suspicion. "Oh, don't mind the wee when she's supposed to be in bed. Go on then. Skedaddle." So folks, you are free to buy any kind of meal that you want. You're free to catch up with your friends, and loved ones. And let's say you spent like the next 2 hours basically doing that. If anyone wants to come forward and tell me what exactly they are doing during those 2 hours until like 10 p.m.
Listen,
I go
I-
right ahead here.
I do have charisma of 16.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
that barkeep doesn't know what it is.
Exactly.
He also just mentioned his wife, so
Do you know my wife is sick in bed, but
Uh,
we have another bed in the basement. If you
Is that what he said? I was listening to him. I wasn't blessed with his giant ears. Okay, I was
No.
just looking at him.
My wife's into it. Don't worry. Yes, no, she likes to watch.
Look,
they're gonna roll up and back. Don't
Why else
worry,
do
your
you
wife
think I
can
set up
watch.
Roadhouse where beautiful men can
Look.
come in and just leave the next day? Like, no, it's good business.
this is the first. This is the first like. This is the first possible man I've spotted since we've gotten off the airship. I mean, I've been through some shit. Okay, I'm just gonna try my luck with this innkeeper. Okay.
Let's go.
I don't know. Do you want me to roll charisma?
That's-
Because I'm not gonna
that's-
make up the conversation.
Bro, you're gonna have to flirt with your own sister. I don't know how to tell you. Otherwise, the shit is not happening.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Oh,
All right, so
no. You can just roll for me. Just give me like a persuasion check. Let's call it a DC 15 for the time being, just to see what happens when you start flirting with him.
22.
persuade you
Ooh.
to smack that ass.
All right, bit of a cocker one, aren't you? Like,
You could say that.
so you've been in the force for what 23 years? That must be something. Sure, you've got me some stories to tell. Go on, I've got big ears.
I mean,
As you go tell him some stories, Seti,
how dare
Seti
you
and
do that? I
Omni-
was about to tell him a story. No, please go on. I'm
Florin,
sorry.
I'm going to pan back to you. Don't worry.
All right.
Seti and Omni, you get waved over once again by you get waved over by Lafave. Seti, you saw her last being incinerated by a homunculus in an underground city. She now seems to be back to full health, though once again one eye short.
Hmm.
Is this a friend of
Huh?
yours? They
Yes.
approach us with a certain familiarity.
You can say that. Is there one of your new companions? Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name's Lafave.
Likewise.
She
Omni.
gives a hand to you.
I take it.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name. It's got everything in it. Right. Don't worry about that. Yeah, Sadie and I go a bit back, though. We didn't really get time to chat last time. I used to be, or rather, well, I don't want to start with how I used to be. I guess it's as good a start as any. I used to be with the Order of the Crooked Man. I'm sure you're familiar, being no doubt of a spiritual kind yourself. Omni, you can give me a religion check at advantage.
Omni nods, pretending they know. Okay, religion with advantage. Ew.
So
Let me
this, I
really
think this is the
quickly.
first time Omni has really heard about the Order of the Crooked Man, which were a real big deal for all the other NPCs up until now, or all the other
Okay.
PCs.
D20 plus 1. I'm gonna give it to you. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, so
Hey, a 9 is more than nothing. Anyway, Crooked Man. You know you guessed by this time that all the gods you left when you went under are not entirely the same gods as they are now. A lot of them have changed. Some of them have gone missing. Some of them have died. However,
Some of them
the
are
Crooked
free
Man
real
does ring a
estate.
bell. That used to be a way that his enemies used to curse Ilmar, the god of chains, who was mostly known as a god of law and order, but it appears something has corrupted him. Now, in some way, his followers have become either power-hungry zealots or monsters in their own right. Except for Lefave, who somehow left the order, which seems strange to you. You do not remember your uncle Ilmar to be especially forgiving of deserters. Right.
Go
Yeah?
right ahead. You go right ahead.
Yeah, so I left the order a while ago because, well, we're stationed underneath the city of the great city of Maracas, planning to overtake it, when my own crewmates turned on me and poked my eye out. So that's what I've been doing ever since. Said he helped me out of that situation, and he made me, and one of his companions helped me see the light. So that's where we are now.
Speaking of seeing the light, care for a drink?
Oh, it's all on me.
Yeah, but I'm gonna see if they have some Hoanti specialties. Something that for us is a bit strong and for most non-snake people can make them lose vision for like an hour or two.
Come on, warrior. No time for worries. You bought us drinks, you ought to at least drink with us once.
I'll take you up on that, tiny angel. She nods over at Nubis, who gets out a black bottle covered in a black label with white letters saying the matriarch special. Right. Why don't you two give me a Constitution saving throw?
I do want
Let's
to
call
add,
it
by
a-
the way, that I am immune to poison.
Omni, why don't you give me a Constitution saving throw?
You got it. You got it. +2. That's a nat 1.
Yeah,
plus 2 is 3. All right.
Yeah, you're not
Do
gonna
I get
be
drunk?
seen
Do
for
I
an
die?
hour.
I'm just
Omni-
crying at the bar. I'm just like, let's just don't
The
get it.
nectar of the gods could not be as glorious a drink as you have in your hands and then in your throat. And as it goes down, it feels like you're falling down the stairway of hell all over again. And suddenly the world around you becomes very fast and dark and dim. And you're just like, oh, where am I?
Oh, to think I'm lost in Elysium. Oh, the light's so bright, the shadows so dark. Oh, and I start quoting Elysian poetry.
It's your fault. Omni is fully on the ground, on
on
their
the ground,
back at the
like a turtle.
Lefave since sat down next to them and starts giggling at whatever they're saying. You got it, Angel baby.
You,
Stacy, Meanwhile, you and Ashling have some time to catch up, and Xiomara, you can be part of that conversation, since you are the one who brought Ashling, though. Suddenly, upon seeing her old pupil, she seems to be a lot more interested in her.
Yeah, I also get the vibe that is like a reunion that I shouldn't be part of. I shouldn't like flirt in front of Stacy with this woman. But I would
Cute.
like to go to the
You got
bar
dragon blocked.
and get like 2 glasses of really, really fancy dry red wine.
Oh, you
And
got a wizard.
and
Woo!
I'd love to ask if they have something sweet. Yeah,
Right.
like
You
a
just said
dessert.
dry red wine. Come on.
Yeah, a dry
Give me
red
your money.
wine and a sweet dessert.
Ah, all right.
Some bee and
Fine.
sticks.
Right. The wife just made some. The ride just made some bee sting cake, some flans if you're interested in that.
Oh, I would love some flan. As a flan, yeah. Talking is not for me.
Alright.
Oh, poor
Alright, no
Stacy.
worries. And you can. I can tell your short friend over there might fancy something sweet themselves. I can tell she's
Oh
got
well,
a sweet tooth.
this is for her actually. The flan is for her.
He
Yeah.
Oh.
he gets kind of wet eyes at that, like, all right, you're a good one, wizard.
Well, off you go.
And he turns he turns his attention back to the most interesting thing in his eyes at the moment, being Tyr. You were about to tell him a story, I believe.
Okay, so listen. Wait, okay, give me a second. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I was gonna tell you about the last job I had before this friggin' airship landed. I actually infiltrated a mercenary base, and I got out alive. Pretty sick.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of mercenaries were they then?
I forget the name,
You
Francisca.
between
Please
drinks between drinks you remember that it was in fact a band of drow assassins. More than that, it was a band of drow assassins which was supposed to be completely gone after the matriarch had them banished.
Yeah,
And
of
yet you were
course,
the
of course.
first person to discover them, and not just discover them, but also fight them and come out alive. You especially
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
you especially remember the mocking eyes of Artanan, who appeared to be the captain of the assassins.
Yeah,
It's
all
like,
that, all that.
Alright. Yeah, I never trust a blonde man is what I keep saying. Ooh,
Yeah,
I
no
got stories to tell
grown
you
man
too.
is blonde.
No good man is blonde. No good woman either.
and he looks over at Lafave, who's on the ground, who's very blonde and very on the ground. Um,
Right then. I've got you a story to tell as well. See, long time ago, this strange guy comes into my tavern. Blonde, much like the father over there, though not quite as honourable. And he says, and he puts on this weird smile and calls me his friend. He's got this whole skull mask thing going on. I'm like, oh, this can't be anything good. What are the cultists up to nowadays? He wasn't a cultist, turns out. He was just a mind reader. Strangest thing is, he gives me this thing, and out of his shirt he pulls out a necklace showing like a single what appears to be like a feather ornament cast in silver, and he wears it as like a necklace. He says, he told me hold on to that, and only good things will come to you. And all I ask in return is that you hold on to it and never tell anyone about it. Until, of course, you meet someone trustworthy who you might give it to yourself. But that's for you to decide. Anyway, strangest thing. You'd be interested in like a knick-knack. Can tell you might need some good luck on your journeys ahead, mate. The innkeep just handed you a piece of offers you a piece of jewelry, which appears to be like a little feather necklace. The feather being made of silver.
Wait, but he also said that he's not supposed to tell anybody about it, right?
He's not supposed to tell anyone about it unless he wants to give it to them.
So, what makes me so special?
Mm.
You're trustworthy.
Well, he's taking a shine on you. He thinks you're charming.
Hmm.
At least that's what
Yep.
you can glean. And of course, you can always give him an insight check to see what his intentions may be.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I'm just gonna tell you what it is because I'm now in the living room with my tablet and I cannot literally like connect. But I will give you insight. 18.
He's doing something that he doesn't realize he's doing. You're getting the strong feeling he's under mind control from someone. As bees fill the tavern! That's right, folks! Bees fill the tavern and they manifest into a man into a man standing right next to the innkeep who goes ahead and grabs the necklace. Blake,
Oh,
you know of the
okay.
necklace that Blightwood. You know of the black. No, the entire tavern is an uproar. There's no getting out of this, folks. There's no like, wait, I want to say one more thing. No, Sweet Song is here. He's grabbed the necklace. Sweet Song, for your information, Blightwood told you to ambush the adventurers in the roadhouse and then grab the necklace that the innkeep has.
Okay.
And you've just manifested, ambush the roadhouse. Everyone is completely prone. You can see that the shining one, the glowing person, is on the ground, just completely blackout drunk.
There once
may be
was a
getting
man from the
shit.
sword. There once was a man from the Sword Coast whose beak was as big as a post.
And you come into this mayhem. What do you say, Sweet Song?
Excuse me for interrupting between you two flirty ones, but I am here to retrieve the necklace for that no good scumbag Brightwood. But need I say may? And then I just grab like a spoon of like flan that somebody has on the table.
Absolute villain.
As it comes, as sweet as it comes.
Fucking hell. Blightwood, of course, is already in a corner somewhere, just slowly clapping, be like, well done, bees. No one ever expects bees. He steps over to Lefave, who's still lying on the ground. And you can tell now that he's material, Seti, as he's right next to you and just grabs the sword off her back. Rather, no, she's not carrying a sword right now. She just grabs a dagger off her back, off her belt, and steps over to you, Sweet Song, still nibbling on that flan. Now, you magnificent bastard. I'm gonna need that necklace you have there.
Remember, we had a contract, we had a deal, Blightwood.
That's right. I will unmake your undeath and make you able to kill these fools. You can have the crown or whatever. Yes,
yes.
indeed. Now give me the damn necklace.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go.
He grabs it from you. Perfect. Cuckoo. Get him away from me. As out of nowhere, your friend Cuckoo appears. This black feathered bird folk with a silver mask, and throws their cape over you. Sweet Song, you disappear from the scene.
Oh shit! I've been backstabbed.
No.
Oh no, I've been betrayed.
Unexpected.
Who could have seen that coming?
Oh no! Not the bees.
Not the bees.
I'll be honest
Like-
with you, folks. I can't stand Sweet Song any more than you can. Turns out I'm a little bit allergic, but not to bees, but to bullshit. Very well then. With all that out of the way, he takes the necklace in
Tier
his
says
hand.
big stretch.
Listen, it's been a long day. He takes the necklace and just kind of crushes it in his hand as it kind of goes up in a white flame, and Cuckoo says, "Wait, what have you done?" "I've undone your undeath, you little shit.
You know what it means when you're no longer undead. You're mortal.
And then he takes the dagger and stabs Cuckoo to death.
Wow.
Very well.
What?
Shit.
Not Cuckoo.
Yo.
We know them for so short, like 2 seconds.
That was kind of the whole point of Cuckoo.
hours.
I
Oh,
love it.
man.
Often
Oh,
In the end,
like-
like in my notes, I
Anyone
The
but
deleted
him.
scenes for this episode are gonna go crazy.
This was really a what you egg stabs moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, evidence, but not for me.
as
Honey,
the
I
entire inn
double-crossed
turns
the
around,
patties.
as the entire inn turns around to boo at Blightwood for being kind of a shitty guy and kind of a shitty performer, he says,
Very well, very well. I've done away with all of my competition. It's gonna
What
make
about
the rest
you?
of this easy. For all those guests tonight, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Maybe more regrettable, maybe less so. See you soon.
and for all of my players, a happy rest of the year, and thank you all for playing with me. That's the end of the session.
Wow.
Yo.
Nice.
What a finale.
So, folks, it's been another year of playing D&D. Some players have left, some have come, and I'm so
I
fucking happy.
joined. Okay, I joined. I did not.
So happy to be playing with all of you, even if sometimes you barely let me get a word out, but it's always in the best way and not in the worst. I want to remind all of you that this wouldn't be possible without my amazing players who keep motivating me to impress them.
Aw.
And I wouldn't be doing all of this without my wonderful partner, Ronnie, who keeps encouraging me. That all being said, thank you so much, Plague. I ambushed you one time while Maxi, you and I were playing Baldur's Gate. It was like, hey, would you like to play D&D with us? And you were so chill, so blasé, so yes and with everything. I really couldn't ask for a better guest player, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, even if, granted, I would have loved for you to have more screen time, but, you know.
Also,
No,
very
honestly, this was
interesting
awesome.
choice of voice that you made for your character.
It kept going into like Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons into like Donald Trump.
Oh no!
Oh, like this very,
it was just
very
weird.
early on the switch to Trump happened. It was like, oh yeah.
But honestly, it's great to see like all the work that you put into. Like there's so much art, so much story. Like it was, like even just for me to just be dropped in right away, it's really impressive to see all the hard work that that y'all put in, and and all the art that Siska has put in as well too. And it was definitely very easy as like somebody that just got dropped in to fit in for sure.
That's
Which
very
is
gratifying to hear.
Yeah, and
I
everyone
would
is
like
super
to
nice
say-
too.
This campaign wouldn't happen without our incredible GM. So big shout outs to Dungeon Mother as always.
yeah.
Dungeon Sister.
Dungeon
Sister.
Sister. That all being said, I would like each of you in succession to please read me your prompt for today, starting with Algernon.
Yeah, what even was my prompt?
Yeah, you haven't told Algernon.
I had no
Did you?
indeed. We'll come back to that later.
I have all the three, and you were like, I'm gonna tell you later, and we just never got to it.
Yeah, we didn't. You know what? But maybe you made it by mistake. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
It was encouraged curiosity. Encouraged curiosity.
Well,
Oh, that's
They-
such
they-
a
More,
yeah.
more like encouraged by curiosity.
I was going to make the
I'm
same
not
joke.
bi-curious. I know that I'm bisexual.
Yeah, you
Um,
know,
I'm
but
all
I
in
also
there.
know.
Okay, folks. Twist today is going to be, I'm not going to be giving the bonus today. Plague is going to decide who met the brief best.
Oh,
So,
let's go.
Plague, Xiomara, the wizard's task for today was to encourage curiosity. And here, what was Seti's prompt for today?
Embrace the darkness.
Was to embrace the darkness. Stacy, what was your prompt today?
To get the flan.
That's right. And Omni, what was your prompt for today?
Mend the dreams of the broken. Which I did not do.
And Omni, no, not Omni. Tyr, finally, what was your what was your
Hold
prompt?
on to your heart. Let me just find that Man Man song so I can finally resolve that joke I made in the beginning.
So Plague, you don't have to go by those prompts. You just have to pick I know it's hard. Your favorite player from today, and tell me who you think should be getting a reward for today's session.
Mm, I think I think probably like Florian did really awesome. Like it was really nice to see like a lot of the progression that they were doing,
Oh.
and it was really fun to see like all the the weird flirtingness with the innkeeper.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
the tier has been really starved for people to like simp over. So like, let's just like straight up, legitimately, you know
What? Really?
You know,
Um,
we're just filled with sexy hot women. We need like some sexy hot men. So tier
Yeah,
can
that's true.
Yeah,
Florian,
thank you.
since Plague and Sweet Song have voted you to be the the winner of today's session, I have a very special perk for you today.
Ooh.
Damn.
Why don't you add to your innate abilities that once per day you can cast Fireball without any spell components.
Da, 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 da.
I'm
Da,
a
da, 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 da.
fireball.
Yeah, exactly.
Either Fireball once, either Fireball twice, or Insect Plague once. Since
I
we
hate
did in
bees.
fact have Plague playing an insect here, so I think that's only fitting.
Can I do either or, like either fireball or plague,
Yeah, you can
depending
either
on the
or.
situation? Okay, cool. I'll do that.
And that was the reward for today's session. Any closing statements from our players?
I'm gay.
Cannot wait to flirt
same,
more
same.
with hot women who are also the moms of characters.
I will
I'm once again
prepare
so
a
grateful
nice
that
monologue.
I'm so glad once again, Algernon, that you made it to today's session. It wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I
really good.
hurried so fast.
So you came out of the gate with sass to boot.
Yeah,
And
like
it
like
would have
you,
been only half of the flirting.
work.
And I like to think your rush was worth it because you got to see one of my favorite characters that I've been looking forward to drawing and both portraying, Mother Ashling.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was amazing. No, I loved it.
Just run for mom time. Yeah. That checks out.
But yeah, brace yourselves. I prepare a nice monologue with revealing the backstory.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Very cool. As I said at the end of the session, I wish you all a great rest of the year. We will be seeing each other again for D&D in January.